Remember, with great podcasting comes great responsibility. Ladies, gentlemen, and variations thereupon, this is Modern Escapism. Welcome to the show. My name is Oodles, and like the Hulk, I'm here to smash shit up. Joining me today, the Sorcerer Supreme himself, is Dr. Gadget.
Hello.
Supposed to do this with your hands. Gaining her powers from being mauled by her pet cat, the black cat herself, it's Candy.
Hello, pussy lovers!
Wow.
Okay.
That's now a fan club name.
Yeah. Like J. Jonah Jameson, this man spouts the news like it's oxygen. It's Biggie Biggieson.
My spider penis is tingling.
Oh, God. And what hero exemplifies this man more than Hawkeye? No powers and a default haircut. It's Stig.
Hey, Hawkeye's mint.
He is mint, actually, mate. I'm a big fan. How are we all doing? We're all back again. Look at us all together again.
2 weeks
like
in a row.
It's
It's like a new record.
Who'd have thunk? Look at us.
Hey, yes, Ant-Man. Oh, God, that went with the theme. How's everyone doing? Everyone good?
Yeah, knackered.
Yeah.
Was out
Hanging
Fucking
in
don't all
there.
scream at once. Christ.
was out at a drag show last night, and I'm absolutely fucking exhausted.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How fast were the cars?
Not that kind of drag show. It
Oh, all right.
was how fast were the boys in high heels? They were quite fast.
Thanks for the invite, mate.
If you want to come up to Newcastle and spend a tenner on a cocktail, feel free to.
Thanks for not inviting me, mate.
No,
He'll come to the show, but he'll have a flask there just going,
yeah.
I've done that before.
yes, have I.
You can get those
I've
fill-up
done that in a
bras,
few
can't you?
clubs.
People would just think that you're getting into the theme of it.
I don't wear bras.
It's when you go,
You might
when
want to if you
someone
want
has
a
like
drink.
a wedding at a really posh venue, you know, this is going to be expensive as fuck, so I'm taking a hip flask with me.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Mm-hmm. That's when I used to do it to, like when they have weddings in like fancy hotels.
Yeah.
When you have the whole reception, and it's nice. I always appreciate. Like I've been to some and they've paid for us rooms and stuff because I'm part at groom party. You know what I mean? I'm one of the men, not the best man. Never been the best man because no one's that savage. But when they pay for your room and all that, and I'm like, and I'm looking at the price, I'm like, this is not an open bar. I hip flasked the fuck out of that. I went straight to Co-op, poured in loads of fucking rum, and away I went. I had a great time.
I'm sure
Drinking
you did.
cordial. Mum's the word. Biggie, do you know what I've been missing this week? I don't know what's gone off in world. I really don't know what's gone off in world, and all I need is from a big strapping man to come and give me a news hug. It's Biggie's breaking news.
You may already know, but he doesn't, because it's time for Biggie's Breaking News.
First things first, I'm gonna say all the words inside my head. I'm fired up and tired of the way the news has been. Ooh, ooh, the way the news has been. Ooh, ooh. Second, don't you tell me that you think that I could be. I'm the one at the helm, I'm the master of the sea. Ooh, ooh, the master of the sea. Ooh, ooh. I was broken from a young age, taking my soak into the listeners, writing my updates for the few that look at me, took to me, shook to me, feeling me singing from heartache, from the pain, taking my message from the veins, speaking my lesson from the brain, seeing the beauty through the... Hey! You made me a newsreader! Newsreader! Hey! You made me a newsreader!
Still going.
Newsreader!
You lost me for a minute there, but you brought it back.
Thank you, Elmo.
That's Imagine Dragons, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is.
Oh, no wonder I didn't like it.
Can you listen to Imagine Dragons earlier today?
Did you?
Did you catch her?
Yeah, well, because I was in DMs getting the Patreon artwork, and it just suddenly popped up that you were started listening to Imagine Dragons on Spotify.
Oh, it's rumbles.
You fucking terror.
Absolutely
Rumbles,
rumbles.
yeah.
Stalker.
Anyway, Biggie, as much as I didn't like that, you did it well.
It was awful. Sorry about that, listeners. Moving on swiftly. PlayStation 5 supply issues have finally been fixed after 3 years, says Sony. Supply chain problems that plagued the PlayStation 5 have now been resolved. The global chips shortage, which began in 2020, impacted industries from car manufacturing to credit cards. The shortage is steadily resolved through 2023, and Sony said its supply chain is now fixed worldwide. This means the console is now not only readily available, but a surplus may lead to retailers competing for the sale. It comes as Sony boss Eric Lempel also said it had redesigned its PlayStation Plus subscription service this week, adding cloud gaming for PS5 gamers.
So it just didn't time for them to release a new one that has a completely different design. Well done, Sony.
Which I have more on. Because they have also mentioned about the Slim's optical... Sorry, start again. The PS5 Slim's optional disk drive needs to connect to the internet to pair it to a console. According to Charlie Intel Twitter account, published images of the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 bundle, and eagle-eyed observers noticed a disclaimer that says that the cat amongst the pigeons within the video game community, internet connection required to pair disk drive and PS5 console upon setup.
That's ridiculous.
I think it's ridiculous, but I think that is to stop people just because it's just an ordinary HD Blu-ray
So you
drive.
can't connect a random one.
Yeah, it's to stop people like reverse engineering whatever connector is in there and just plugging any drive into.
Do you reckon it'll just be a one and done once you've logged in? You've done.
Yeah. It's not going to be like a constant authentic. Put a disc in, connecting to the internet. It's not going to be doing that.
Yeah.
It's just for that initial.
It is
pairing.
genuinely that then, isn't it? You've hit nail on head there. It's just so we can go, aha, that's one of ours.
Yeah.
Fucking scumbags. Absolute scumbags.
It could be a problem if Sony have issues with its authentication servers, though.
Well, yes.
Mate, that happens all the time with my Switch. So I know I've bought the games from there and everything, and I click on it and say, check in to see if you can play this. No. I'm like, what? I bought this.
That happens with my Xbox as well.
Happens all the time with PlayStation. You load a game on the PlayStation, and sometimes it'll sit there for a minute while it has a go at the authentication server, despite you having put 22 hours into it.
Yeah, it's absolute. I hate it. I hate that shit. I hate that. That's another reason why Stig's age-old argument is like physical. It works.
But yeah, the main concern that people should have with it though is if, and it is mentioned in the news article that Biggie had there. What happens like when they're down to like PS6, PS7 generation when they turn off that authentication server?
I don't know. I don't know. It's worrying.
It is.
Speaking of PlayStation, former PlayStation boss Sean Layden says its criminal industry isn't properly preserving games. He served as chairman of Sony Interactive Entertainment World Studios, now known as PlayStation Studios, for years, and he was hugely influential in shaping the current PlayStation landscape. He spoke about video game preservation, a topic he mentioned recently on the LAN Parties podcast. He said, preservation is important. I'm hoping that more people in the industry, certainly the big players, begin to realise there's an obligation and responsibility. This isn't throwaway stuff that we're making. This is stuff that should be around for a long time because future generations will enjoy it the same way that we have, and it's criminal that we're not doing more to protect it.
I mean, he could have put Sony onto that path if he was so influential in PlayStation Studios.
Who's this man? What's he called again?
Sean Layden.
Sean Ladle. So this guy, Layden, this guy should have, he should have spouted that to the execs.
While he worked for Sony.
Yeah, he probably just didn't and gone, yeah, it's fine. We'll just keep sending out remasters and stuff and re-releases because it makes more money. That's all it's about. That's why they don't do it.
Of course it is.
Money! And so Sony are baddies. They are baddies, man.
Do you think at some point there's going to be so much out there in cyberspace that there's going to be these like colossal server buildings that just hold all the old games and stuff so people can still get hold of them? Because Sony and Xbox aren't going to want to keep all their old games.
No, they're not, are they? There's got to be a drop off one day. There's got to be a drop off. It's like remember, like I know we're all physical generation, but like people just had to keep stuff. If you wanted to play your Amstrad games, you had to keep your Amstrad, didn't you?
Yeah.
And that way of life, it's completely just disintegrating in front of us face, and we're just watching it happen, and we can't do anything about it. Really can't, apart from piracy. which in a way, piracy are doing the work that these big companies should be doing in the first place. Some kind of library, backup library.
For piracy.
It's just ridiculous, man. It's not consumer friendly. I don't think they give a shit.
No.
And of course they
give a shit. It's awful.
See, more physical media.
Yeah, but
you get to fucking keep it.
But by the same thing, though, I mean,
Looking at you, Alan Wake too.
Physical consoles and DVD players and video players and stuff, they break down over time. So they would have to keep making the consoles and stuff. Like, if they still made a very slow stream of Amstrads and Amstrad games, not new ones, but, like, reprinting them and everything, that'd be fine. But they don't.
They don't do it. Yeah, it's just... we're just going to have to live with it, aren't we? Like it or lump it. Or create your own digital backup library on a massive teraflop, giga bigger bloody
expandable hard drive
thing.
Big floppers.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Big floppers.
Thank God for the expandable hard drive.
I know. What
game
a
changer.
Next.
Nintendo shocks competitive fans with strict new community tournament guidelines. Guidelines posted on both Nintendo's Japan and UK websites on Tuesday this week dictate the terms for not-for-profit small-scale community tournaments involving games for which Nintendo owns the copyright. In short, these guidelines define the terms that organisers would have to follow in order to qualify as a small-scale event, allowing for them to function without an official licence from Nintendo. These are some of the highlights. Community tournaments may not generate commercial revenue except as permitted by these guidelines, a cap of 200 participants in person or 300 for online tournaments. Organisers may not receive compensation for third-party sponsors and may not sell food, beverage or merchandise. No prizes exceeding the market value of £4,500 or $5,000 in total. No spectator fees for online tournaments. And organisers must publicly disclose all accounting related to the costs of hosting the event promptly.
That's pissed off a lot of people.
Yeah. Rightly so. Nintendo be Nintending again.
Yep.
Well, just
good old friendly Nintendo, eh?
They just want people to pay. So that means you're not going to get like smaller scale tournaments at like Bristol Comic Con and shit like that. You know, like
how are they going to know?
Small events. Well, I'm sure they'll have ways of finding out. You know, people do share things on the internet.
Like if we decided at the ME meetup next year to have a Nintendo tournament, they're not going to know, even though we are bigger than Nintendo.
There's other weird
My
ones
uncle
with it
works
as
for
well.
a mate. Sorry.
Does he? Fuck.
Yeah, I got no Switch.
There's other weird ones with it as well, like specifically like in regards to like Smash Brothers. You're only allowed to use official Nintendo controllers. So like a lot of fighting game people use those custom boxes where it's just like a rake of buttons rather than a fight stick. No, you've got to use like official controllers that either came with the console or you buy from Nintendo.
Imagine trying to do a Smash Brothers tournament on fucking Joy-Cons.
No.
I think at a protest, I think at a protest, I'd use a Wavebird. The fucking keyboard in the middle.
Just do it. Fucking do it.
But it's weird. It's really shitty, and it's just because they want people to pay license fees to have the rights to do it. Because especially that bit where it says organisers may not sell food, beverage, or merchandise. Like, who the fuck's going to acquiesce to that? That basically stops all tournaments under a certain size. And over a certain size, you've got to pay Nintendo for the right to do it.
They'll be watching Twitch going, is somebody eating a donut there in the background? Does someone pay for that?
That's not a Nintendo donut, is it? No, it's Greg's one. Fucked. Get him out. Do you know what? It just brings them all this shit with Sony, all this shit with Nintendo, all this shit with Microsoft buying everything. It just reminds you that these are just mindless corporations that don't give a fuck, really, innit? That's all it boils down to.
All about the share
It's
price.
really sad. Yeah, it's really sad, man. Anyway, next.
Well, Nintendo have got a few people excited as a recently filed Nintendo patent has been discovered that refers to a dual-screen gaming device that could be split in half.
Okay. There's a lot of patents come out for everything, doesn't it?
Yeah,
loads of things.
One of their engineers has had an idea to patent it, then it sits there.
May never happen.
I mean, it's pretty much going to be nailed on that the next Nintendo console will be the Switch 2 because they would be stupid to do.
What about the Nintendo Split?
You
heard it here first.
I think the Switch 2 is going to have to be it because they made that mistake going from the Wii to the Wii U. They went from a wildly successful console and they fucked it.
Let me just whisper into your ear. It's Nintendo. They don't learn.
True, they did go from the SNES to the N64.
Exactly.
What,
Absolute idiots.
What about if where they say it could be split in two, that this thing is like a Switch, but a DS. You can play it single player, but you can actually split it in two and hand the second
Yep.
I think
half
that's
to it.
that's probably exactly
Nintendo
what it is.
Split.
Yeah, for a
Nintendo
2-player, and you can
Split.
play 2 players together, so it clicks together for a single player dual screen thing, or it comes apart for a 2-player multiplayer, like local multiplayer thing.
Yeah, and
That'd be well cool.
only the sweet price of £900. That could be ours.
Be about 400 quid.
And rest. Next.
Spooky season is still with us. And Mortal Kombat 1, its Halloween Fatality costs $10, and the community is pushing back. Earlier this week, the community was incensed after publisher Warner Brothers Games revealed it will sell a seasonal Fatality for real-world money. And this Fatality is available in the shop with a confirmed price, and players are up in arms once again, and many vowing to boycott the Fatality, and some are abandoning the game entirely because of the cost.
Not surprised, it's 10 quid.
Two things, right? It's a tenner, which is far too much for anything. Second
Especially
thing,
just for an animation.
Don't buy it
That's
if you don't
$10
want it.
by the way.
If you think, that's
different.
40 quid now, isn't it? Strength of fucking pound of $1.
It should
Telling
be 99p max.
Yeah, it's just an animation. Like, it's
It shouldn't
probably.
be. I mean,
Shouldn't be anything, but if you're going to charge
it's when
for
they
it, 99p.
when they say I'm boycotting the game because of that. Grow up, because that's just as bad as saying. To me, that's just as bad. Like, I know it's bad practice and it's shite and it's icky and stuff. Don't engage in it. Don't engage in it. It's that simple.
Yeah, because if you've already paid for the game and you're not playing it, if you're not
boycotting it now,
you've already given them your money, and if you're a Twitch streamer and you make money off it, then maybe you might go, okay, I'm making a stand, I'm not going to play it, I'm not going to advertise it on my channel to my viewers. If you're someone like me who's just Joe Blogs just playing at home,
you only care for story anyway. Yeah, there's no fatalities in story mode.
I play it for the story, then I get a shot of it.
Exactly. You can't have fatality in story mode. Everyone knows that, because that'd ruin the story. But yeah, I hate that shit. I'm boycotting it because of that. You can boycott it because they're fucking scumbags. That's different, not because of the price. That's the difference.
I
don't know.
I think some people are boycotting it on the basis of they're worried it's now going to go to like a freemium model, despite it being like a full price game.
Yeah, I get that. It could set a disgusting precedent, couldn't it?
I think what they're thinking is
voting with the wallets early.
Yeah, so if Warner Brothers release something and then they see the amount of players is going up, down.
Yeah,
like
they'll notice.
That's the thing they'll notice. It's like when they get the.
So it is definitely. It's like going on strike, then, isn't it? Rather than I am snapping this. I'm standing on it in the driveway in front of the street, and everyone's going.
I don't think anyone's doing that. I think people are going to go off and play something else for a little while and go back to it later.
That's fine.
But
I'm cool with that.
It's the kind of thing to try and send enough of a message. Because bear in mind, the game costs $70. The premium edition cost $110, and doesn't include and the expansion pass, whatever that comes with it, doesn't include this.
Could you imagine
this fatality?
$110 for a game.
$110.
I just couldn't fucking imagine it. I could not imagine it ever.
But
Candy, you're quiet.
Candy saying quiet.
But then you've paid $110 for your premium edition of the game, and you log into it, and then it comes up, buy this fatality for another $10. It's like, that's got to piss
the
people off.
$110 version, was that a physical with a statue and a lovely watch or anything like that?
No, it's just a fatality.
That's probably just
Do you remember,
ultimate
Halloween Season of the Witch?
Version.
A Halloween Season of the Witch, yeah.
You know how obviously the pumpkin and all the bugs and shit come out of it.
Yeah, it's
so
just
someone slams they slam a pumpkin on your head, all the bugs come out and like eat your face, and then you get like your head chopped off and it falls out the pumpkin, something like that. It's
pumpality.
That's it. 10 quid.
So your $110 or £90 premium edition is digital only. You get Mortal Kombat 1. You get the combat pack.
Stop there, mate.
You get the combat pack, which doesn't tell you what that actually is.
No, because they're not out yet.
Early access to DLC characters. That doesn't mean that you get them.
No, it means you get them early.
You get a Jean-Claude Van Damme. You get a Jean-Claude Van Damme skin for Johnny Cage, and 1,250 dragon crystals, which is the internal currency. And that's what
£110.
So that's what you get for your 90 quid. The standard edition on the PlayStation Store is 65 quid.
I fucking hate gamers, me. If you're buying that, you're an idiot.
And if you want
to, 100 quid's different to everyone else. Money's subjective and different for everyone, but that's fucking pathetic.
So the UK price, so the fatality is 1,200 dragon crystals, which in the US is $10. Here, that is £8.
Dragon crystals sounds like a drug.
2 pints.
I'm smoking them dragon crystals, baby. Woo! Fatality! Whoa! Fuck that. Next. It pisses me off, this shit. Pisses me
Finish him.
I'm going to just find out what the combat pass is. The combat
overdose.
So that's the one that includes the Johnny Cage character skin for Jean-Claude Van Damme. And you get the deal. You do get the DLC characters in it. So that's Omni-Man, Quan Chi, Peacemaker, Ermac, Homelander, Takeshi Takeda, and the cameo fighters. So yeah, no, never mind.
Still, what if you didn't like the game and you've paid that much?
You're fucked. Because you don't get refunds on the PlayStation Store.
You don't get refunds on fuck all, really. You have to really. If you've played it for a bit, they'll go, "Whoa, you've played it now. You're not getting your money back."
Unless you're on Steam, you're all right. Unless you're on Steam, you do it within 2 hours.
Yeah. You could play Star in 2 hours, couldn't you, Stick? Easy.
No.
Next.
Well, if you like oodles and you don't like video games, then you can become a tabletop gamer because Marvel and Wizards of the Coast have announced a new multi-year partnership that will see Marvel characters and stories appearing in Magic: The Gathering, starting in 2025.
I thought you were going to say Dungeons and Dragons then, because I'm like, yes, we
can
do a Marvel Dungeons and Dragons.
Do a one-shot Marvel.
Yes!
I can do you one. I can do your Marvel one-shot at one point. There is a
Marvel
RPG.
I'm being Galactus.
Fine, leave that with me. Leave that with me for the next season break.
Oh, I had an idea for a season break.
Oh,
this is. I mean, this is unsurprising. At some point, Wizards of the Coast, we want to do something with Marvel or a comic book franchise because, like, there was the news earlier in the year, like they're doing kind of Fallout, Final Fantasy, Assassin's Creed, Lord of the Rings, and all that kind of thing.
What is Magic: The Gathering like? What is that?
It's
what kind of game is it?
It's like Hearthstone with more steps.
It's lots of reading numbers sideways, I found.
Yeah, I've played a few rounds of it. I'm okay at it, but it's more complicated than it needs to be, I find.
I know it can be technically a pay-to-win game, can't it? Because you can buy good cards.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there is a fucking ridiculous market for, like, the top-end cards.
Which makes me really dubious about stuff like that, because you can pay to be the best.
One of my mates is really into Magic: The Gathering. He's the one that kind of encouraged me to get some cards and give it a try. And he goes to, like, the cards.
Who could beat you?
He goes to the card fairs and that, and he will spend like 300 quid on like 8 cards.
Yeah.
8 cards.
And they get it all back though.
Them.
They get it back though, don't they? They like trade and flick and flock and stuff.
Yeah.
And I do not. That's the problem I have with stuff like that. It's weird being like you're saying with Pokemon Trading Card. If you're playing the proper Pokemon game, you can pay to win.
Like I don't mind buying like the collector sets. Like, I've got the collector set for they did a.
But you know what's in that, don't you?
Yeah, they did Dungeons and Dragons. Basically, you just get a nice presentation box and you get like 15 packs of the cards and some set special cards. Like I've got the Karlach and Astarion cards in my set. I'm going to get the Fallout one when that comes out, but I'm probably not going to play the Fallout one. But I am going to get it.
Yeah,
I want the cards.
I get the collective one. You just want to look at them. You want a nice tin. I get that.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know. I find it a bit minging. That
it's minging as fuck.
Yeah, it's a bit minging. I couldn't think of a better word. Minging.
Do they ever play it where the loser loses all the cards?
No, I don't know. It doesn't work like that. You don't take each other's cards.
That's boring.
It's not like Gwent.
That's boring.
It's not like Gwent or Pogs.
Or Triple Triad.
Where's the rush then? If you're not going to.
Listen, Captain Competitive, there doesn't need to be stakes in those games.
The shame is losing.
Also, if you go to a Magic: The Gathering tournament, you will smell a smell you have never smelled before.
I was going to say, like
onion.
It's rancid BO.
Oh, fuck that.
I mean, I'm never going to go to
I smell
one
beautiful all the time.
I just cannot get on board with card games like that.
How many neckbeards is it per square meter?
More than you've ever seen. The thing is, Magic the Gathering, the Arena, which is the game on your phone or on the PC, that simplifies a lot of it, and it does a lot of the calculating stuff for you, and it's fun.
Yeah, of course,
it's really fun. But when you have to sit there and you're looking at sideways cards, and then you're trying to work out what the numbers mean, and it's just like,
and there's some uber nerd sat refereeing it, going, "No, you can't do that. That is not what you can do in this game. Fuck off, uber nerd."
I find it a really difficult card game to play, but I used to be really good at Hearthstone. I really liked that one, but I find it difficult to play as a card game. I do like it as a phone game. It's the only game
I don't know about you guys. I like Texas Hold'em. It's great. It's fucking great. It's a good game. Played it, Stig. Texas Hold'em.
And we wonder how you ended up in cocaine.
Strip poker.
Played that one. That's all right.
Strip poker's great as well.
Strip Uno.
Strip Uno.
Don't knock it till you tried it.
Strip Twister.
No, I'll try out twice. Next.
Over to the world of film and TV, and if you're ready for this,
Finally.
Five Nights at Freddy's is now estimated to have earned $78 million plus in the film's domestic opening weekend, making it one of the biggest horror openings ever. There's a few stats here. Nope. The second highest opening for a video game movie ever. Biggest opening for Blumhouse ever. The biggest Halloween weekend opening ever. The second biggest opening ever for a film debuting in theatres and on streaming at the same time. And most importantly, the highest 2023 opening for a film set in a pizzeria.
Is there another film set in a pizzeria?
I'm just laughing at Stig being abusive to me in Discord. It's an abusive.
Nope.
It's a PG-13, so that's probably why, because it means that kids can go see it.
That's it.
That's clever.
Your average adult is not going to be that interested in Five Nights at Freddy's.
Like, and it's not that, so it's not R-rated. There's no real horror. Apparently, a lot of the kills are off screen or in the shadows, or you see, So it's a kids' film.
I've never played Five Nights at Freddy's. We've discussed it before on this. It's the one where you do the cameras, isn't it?
Yeah,
with the bears, the animatronic bears and animals and stuff.
Yeah, it
doesn't feel like a game to me. It just feels like a flash game or something.
Pretty much.
It's just a jump scare simulator.
But it's like, if you go on Rotten Tomatoes, it's like critics have it in like, I think it's like the 26%, and audience are like, it's 89%. Like, critics know nothing. Game. It's like, maybe just critics like we're shit.
I love the lore. Like, the lore of Five Nights at Freddy's.
I think Amelia wants to watch it, and I just know it's going to be shit.
Apparently it is.
Apparently
Mike they actually did glorify it.
Who's in it?
Freddy Fazbear, or whatever his name is.
Is it Josh? Someone, guy from Hunger Games, I think.
Josh Hutcherson, Matthew Lillard.
Yeah, that's him.
Elizabeth
Matthew Lillard's in it. Shaggy's in it.
Corey X Kenshin, whoever the fuck that is.
Corey X Kenshin? I've just had an extension done in my kitchen. I'm joking. It's just a funny name.
Oh, he's a YouTuber. Of course he is.
All this makes me head hurt.
I did get some feedback from Planty before, which we read later, but he did.
Has he watched it?
He did add to it afterwards. Rachel turned off Five Nights at Freddy last night. I'll make it to the end eventually. It's so fucking boring. That's what Planty thinks of that. More of his feedback later.
He does know films as well. I trust his judgment.
And he knows shit films as well. He watches a lot of shit films.
Not as much as our Candy does.
And shit film extraordinaire here.
Yeah, can't wait
so
for Candy's 5-star review of Fright Nights at Freddy's next week.
Well, when he said it's streaming, I'm like, I know what I'm going to do.
The Citizen Kane of horror.
Citizen Candy.
Oh, God. Next.
Well, Candy will be excited because the Fallout TV series launch date has been revealed.
I'm excited.
The teaser came out. It's only got posted to X, formerly Twitter. Is that how it's referred to now?
Yeah,
I know the logo's changed everything, but
that's how
everybody's now saying formerly Twitter.
Everyone calls
Twitter.
it X. X.
Twitter.
It's Twitter.
X to the Z. It's all about the family.
It's going to go back to Twitter one day.
Yeah, when he's fucking pulled out of it.
And that day I'll cry.
Elon never pulls out.
The release
date. That's the fucking problem.
It's got like 20 kids.
You've been fucked by Elon Musk.
The release date is the 12th of April, 2024.
Biggie.
Oh, so close. A week earlier, it'd be my birthday. Never mind.
I'm looking forward to this. It's got some great actors in it. It's a great setting. It's a great world, great lore behind it. I think this could win. I think it could be a hit.
Has anyone seen the leaked trailer?
Well, yeah.
I saw the leaked trailer. It looks good.
Looks
I think
It's
it's going to be a hit.
isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll get people moaning like they did with Rings of Power, which I thought was a fantastic show. People will moan. It's not my Fallout. Not my Fallout.
God, imagine if there's some gay ghouls in it, people will kick the fuck off.
This ghoul doesn't look like that ghoul should. That ghoul doesn't act like the ghoul should. Like, okay, fuck off.
You can't be gay in the Fallout universe. It's not allowed. Shut up.
Shut up. Procreation, then. They're making the human race survive.
I can't believe it. I can't. It makes me so fucking angry. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited for it.
Daniel Radcliffe is serving as an executive producer for a documentary titled David Holmes, The Boy Who Lived. The documentary follows the life of Radcliffe's former stunt double who became paralysed during an accident on the Harry Potter set.
No way.
Debuts November 15th on HBO.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I never knew anything about this happening.
No,
So
it's
awful.
No.
It's awful. They've probably
That'd be-
covered it up, that's why.
yeah,
I'd be interested in
clearly.
watching
I
that.
don't think they've covered it up, Oodle, since they're making a fucking documentary about it. That's a
Now
really
it's all
bad,
come to light.
20 years
really bad
later.
cover-up.
It's all come to light now because this guy was going to go to court. And Daniel's like, do you know what? Come here. I'll make you a star, boy. You sit there. Oh, I can't even say that. You fucking hell. that was my David Brent moment. I didn't mean to say it like that. I didn't mean to say it like
Biggie
that.
level that.
Fucking hell. Thing is, Oodles, you can't watch this
I know. There'll be spoilers in it.
because it happened in the last film. So you ought to watch that by that point.
Huh.
So
True.
yeah, you'll have to wait. You have to wait until January.
I think I waited, 15 years to watch Harry Potter? I think I'm going to be all right.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to be just fine. Next.
This came out of nowhere. Edgar Wright's doing the Running Man remake, and it's looking to begin filming next year.
This could be one of two things. Shite or incredible.
Yeah, there's no middle ground in this one. It's
Yeah.
going to be either amazing or really bad.
This is not going to be a 5 out of 10 film. This is going to be a 1 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10 film. It could have a great soundtrack, great choreography, great dialogue, great actors, and be an amazing Edgar Wright film. Or it could just be an absolute dumpster fire. And I'm kind of excited either way. I'm really excited.
The Arnie Running Man, it takes a lot. It's a lot of liberties with the story, doesn't
Yes,
it?
it's not like
fuck all
Of
like the
course.
book.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
if anyone's expecting this to be a remake of the
Is
Arnie
Running Man
film,
Michael Crichton?
Is it? Ooh,
Stephen
I
King,
can't
innit?
remember.
I think he might be right.
Stephen
actually,
King.
yeah.
It might be Stephen King. Might be Stephen King, yeah.
It was
I'm
written under a
Stephen
pseudonym, though, wasn't it?
Stephen King. It was under, it was under his Richard Bachman.
That's it.
Richard Snort a lot. That's his pseudonym.
Yeah, well, it was released in 1982, so yeah, it was the cocaine years.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember reading the book years and years and years ago after I'd seen the film, and I'm like, this is not what I've watched. This is completely different. It's really dystopian and stuff, the book. And
I mean, the film's not exactly uplifting. It's pretty
the film is
dystopian.
very dystopian, but still.
I know, but come on.
Do you think he'd get Arnie in as a cameo to play one of the bad guys, one of the people he takes out?
That's not a bad shout.
No, I want Arnie to be in the Running Man, there's that old woman who like bets on him. But I want Arnie to be that, replace that. To replace
That's a good
her.
idea. Like I say, it could one or two. There's literally no middle ground to this film. It could be incredible, and I'm looking forward. Next.
Diggy's looking forward to this next one. Paddington in Peru is coming exclusively to theatres in 2025.
Finally, he's going back home.
Do not like
Where he
that
belongs.
date, though. It's too far away.
Did they ever explain his accent?
His aunt and uncle have got English
It's
accents.
supposed to be. I know, that's what I'm saying. It's supposed to be South American, but that's a very London accent he's got.
Do you not learn to
Yeah,
speak
but it'll
in
get
London?
dubbed in other foreign movies as well, so that won't matter.
That's very true. That's very true. There's method in your madness right there, mate.
No, that's just madness.
Even back to the old cartoons and the old puppet show that they used to have, like, it never addressed the fact that he's a South American, but he speaks proper Queen's English. He's cool.
Loves marmalade.
I think it does like it.
Yeah, maybe grew up in some kind of colonized area. I don't know.
Maybe, mate. Maybe just that's Bear's. Luckily, Bear's accents are London accents. That might be just a coincidence.
I mean,
just be
it's
a
a
thing,
talking bear.
Don't have regional bears.
Don't have regional bears. Yeah. Cool. Next.
Over to other music. Dream Theater have announced the return of drummer Mike Portnoy. I don't know anything about this. I don't know if anyone else wants to pick this up.
Yeah, so Mike Portnoy
you know who Mike Portnoy is?
Mike Portnoy is one of the greatest drummers who ever lived. He was also the founding member of the prog Legends. And 13 years ago, he was just randomly kicked out of the band. And it was never really established why. Because they just released one of their like career best albums and Black Clouds and Silver Linings. And then they sacked him. And fuck knows why. But then 13 years later, he's back. And I'm very happy about it because the drummer that they had to replace him over the last 13 years, Mike Mangini, he's an excellent drummer, but never really fit with Dream Theater. He was very mechanical as a drummer. Felt like he was being told what to play.
If you don't know what Dream Theater is, Big, it's like a very symphonic metal band.
Yeah, they do songs that are like...
You know me too well.
They do songs that are like 13 and a half minutes long, and they're absolutely worth listening to. I might stick a Dream Theater song at the end of this for the patrons.
And he is...
All 13 and a half minutes of the glass prison.
13 and a half minutes.
I'm not a big fan of Dream Theater, but I know Mike Portnoy's... And Gaddy says one of. He probably is the greatest drummer alive. Just without a shadow of a doubt. Because
I think maybe in sheer technical ability.
Yeah, he was one of those drummers that makes professional drummers look stupid and crap.
Yeah.
Which is a very difficult thing because it's a very difficult instrument to be good at anyway. I mean, look at Lars Ulrich. He's been shit for 40 years. He still makes money from doing it. But like Portnoy, he's just like Neil Peart is in that kind of dimension, isn't he? He's in that.
He's like a drummer's drummer.
A drum machine. He is a drum machine.
And like case in point, one of my favorite tracks by them is an instrumental called "Dance of Eternity," which Mike Portnoy wrote, even though he's not really much of a guitarist. And that song is 6 minutes long, and the time signature changes.
That's the shortest one.
It changes 134 times in that 6 minutes.
Yeah,
it's constantly shifting and moving around, and it's an incredible piece of music. So I'm very happy to see him back, and I'll probably make an effort to see them on tour when they come back out on tour.
Got to in case to get rid of him again. No fucking no.
Yeah, no, it's one of those things. I saw the news story. It just made me happy.
It will make the band have a resurgence again. Because more people are fans of him than they are fans of his band. Do you know what I mean? I know a lot of Portnoy stands that are just all about him. So, yeah, bring it on. Bring it on. Next.
A bit of fun over to the world of sport. Borussia Dortmund's team bus gets parking fine in Tynemouth.
Tynemouth. Not Tynemouth.
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 We have Bournemouth.
The mouth of the
we
fucking
have Bournemouth.
Tyne.
We have Portsmouth and Bournemouth down this way.
Yes,
so
but those are down those
way.
This is up this way.
I don't think
you do know that is the river that Gadget was baptised in. Come on, show some respect.
Yes, the bus got slapped with a £50 fine whilst parked up in Tynemouth.
Thank you.
It follows the club's 1-0 win over Newcastle United at St James's Park on Wednesday's Champions League game. The council confirmed the vehicle had been fined after parking on Grand Parade.
Mate, you were parked up about 5 lanes.
Yeah, it should have been fined 5 times because they were over like 5 different
5 parking spaces.
Parking spots. Yeah.
They like stopped off to get some food from somewhere. So
yeah, that's what the thing is. Yeah, fucking good. They've got enough money. They can pay it. Adhere to the rules of the road. I don't care who you are, Borussia Dortmund.
I just thought it was really funny because I saw the picture of the bus getting a ticket. I was like, hang on a second, that's fucking Tynemouth. And I thought that was really funny.
Tinmouth.
Yeah, Tinmouth.
The fine could be reduced to £25 if it's paid within 14 days.
Yeah, because it's a penalty charge notice. You can pay it if you pay it early. You get money off. If you don't pay it early, you get what is it? You get it's not a court order, is it? It's next best thing though.
CCJ.
You get
It goes up to like £75 or something, doesn't it?
You get
so much stupid. You get summons. They're coming for you. They're going to take one of the seats out at the fucking stadium. This will pay for it.
They'll fuck off back to Dortmund.
Yeah, exactly.
Tell a player.
They'll take one at players.
Yeah, we're definitely not going back to Newcastle again.
No, tell you that much. Next.
Tech World, Urban Outfitters is selling vintage retro iPods and millennials are feeling hurt. Urban Outfitters is selling several older iPod models from the 2000s and billing them as vintage and retro. Critics say the prices are rising from $200 to $350, depending on the model.
Where are you plugging them into?
Why?
They use old cables, won't they?
Yeah, and they're selling them with original cables. So they're doing reconditioned iPod Classics, reconditioned iPod Minis.
9-pin cables?
The 39-pin cables. 30-pin cables.
30-pin ones, yeah.
But yeah, $350 for a 20-gig iPod from
Fuck
2003.
off, I've got one here. They can buy one off me. They can buy one off me. I'll get them for 20 quid.
It's absolutely brilliant when they came out.
They were amazing.
But we now have everything we need right here on a phone that's connected to a streaming service where I don't have to fuck around with my MP3s.
I think the thing is, like Sony still sell Walkman MP3 players that have Android on them, and they'll connect to services like Tidal and that, which will give you FLAC recordings, and you get like a proper analog digital converter in them, and you get better quality sound. Like the proper audiophiles can buy MP3 players. You don't need to buy a 20-year-old iPod.
Have you seen? A bit of a tangent, but have you? I'll find the link again. It was a TikTok advert. TikTok strikes again. Where they're selling. They look like iPod shuffles, but they're called podcast players.
Oh, I've seen them. Yeah, fucking awful.
Podcast players. I was like, are you fucking for real?
They look like these old shuffles.
They look like that. Yeah.
How can you play a podcast on that? Because you wouldn't know what you're fucking choosing.
You can't see it. You'd have to
line it up and be like, right.
You've got to do it all on your computer. You've got to line it all up on your computer.
Literally, I bought this little iPod shuffle. This is the fifth gen one. I bought this just for running. I had a running playlist on it.
That's what they were for.
Yeah, clipped it to my t-shirt, and I didn't have to take my phone with us.
Yeah,
even the advert was like run, shuffle. That's what it was, wasn't it? That was the advert.
I used to have a waterproof one that was basically the same thing. Like you plug it in, and it wraps around your ears, it goes into your ear plugs, and you can swim with it. But you didn't have a order to it. You just swam and it played music.
It just played, fine,
because that's what it was for. But
shit yourself if Jaws theme tune came on. Oh no!
So you said, Biggie, that the millennials are upset about it? Is that because they're being called retro?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they obviously are retro at this point.
Well, they are retro. It's not that. It's the price that makes me upset.
You can buy them cheaper on eBay and stuff like $35.
They can buy one off me, 20 quid.
I bet, like most people, like
collect
me,
only.
Probably have it shoved at the back of a drawer somewhere.
I do.
I'm pretty sure I've got an iPod Nano shoved at the back of a drawer somewhere.
I've got in my drawer. I was going to get some out of a day to show Gadget because we were talking about that shuffle over there. I've got. Do you remember the Finn shuffle, the tall Finn one?
Yeah, the first gen one, yeah.
I've got 4 other gens of iPods because I was obsessed with iPods. I had the first one with the clicky, and the red button. The second one's the red buttons one, you know, the LCD red button one.
Yeah.
I've got that one. And I've got the first touch. I've got loads of iPods, me. I don't know fucking why. I need to get rid of them.
I had a touch.
To Gen X's.
I had a touch and it was just like...
Or Gen Z's.
I found it and I recharged it. So it works. I was like... No app works on it. Nothing.
Nope.
Yeah.
So I just gave
you're
it to
wrong. You can still do the drinking beer app.
No, but Spotify not working at YouTube, nothing. So I was like, I just gave it to Amelia when she was like 4 to just go pretend it was a phone.
Yeah. I've got it here. I've been trying to jailbreak it a little bit. I've got the Apple Watch 3 and I just won't connect to anything anymore. And I've been trying to jailbreak and it's proven very difficult because I can't be asked to buy another Apple Watch. Can't be asked.
I think the only thing that makes me sad is because I remember really coveting iPods when I was younger.
I loved it.
And I didn't get one until like the second generation.
iTunes, fucking wank.
iTunes, right? But like,
that was a pain in the ass.
I loved it.
But then I look on eBay. This one's got 11 hours left. It's a 5th gen classic, 30 gigabyte one. One of them.
Yeah.
30
that's
quid.
what I've got.
30 quid.
Yeah. It's
Not
good. It's a good machine.
300.
That's what I used to have.
Good
That
machine.
one, that black one with a colour screen.
Yeah,
on.
Yeah.
I sat and watched
Lovely.
District 9 on that thing.
Fantastic.
I had a mate do a
Fucking cat food.
I had a mate do like a megabus trip
Prawns.
from Newcastle to London, and he watched the fucking Lord of the Rings trilogy on his iPod, as it was meant to be watched.
Jesus.
That is the only time. That's right. Despite the fact that I've got District 9 on Blu-ray, that's the only time I ever watched it because I had sunstroke and I was lying in bed on holiday. And I was like, I'll just watch this.
I did a very similar thing with my iPod Touch. I know it's a bit bigger, but I watched 310 to Humour on a beach. Just I watched
As it was
310
meant
to
to
Humour.
be seen.
That's exactly what they want. I'm like, is that Christian Bale? Oh, it must be. Right
thing
close
is,
to my
though,
face.
On that screen there was no rotate or anything, so it
No.
was like it letterbox. It didn't
On a-
even fill the
on a
full screen because the full
2.5 inch
screen was
screen.
obviously like 4:3. So
Hey,
like
2.5
it's like
inches big in some people's
it's
hands.
16 by 9 picture on a 4:3. Like,
Just what they wanted. That's exactly how you should watch it. I mean, I watched Mad Max Fury Road for the first time on the back of a plane seat. Just how it's meant to be seen.
I think that news
next.
story just made me feel old, especially when they said like on a listing on the 4th generation iPod Classic from 2004 calls the device a genuine piece of vintage retro tech and says it's the perfect blend of new millennium design with modern features. Like, fuck off! I'm not that old.
mate, we are nearly 40.
I've got
Yeah,
books.
we
I've got
are
books
old.
in this house older than that I bought with my pocket money. You know what I mean?
I used to go
Vintage
jogging with my
books.
hi-fi speakers on my back.
With his boombox.
No, he had a vinyl player on his backpack. Come on.
Just rolling up the gramophone like that.
As his arms are
That's
moving.
like distraction.
Next. Fucking hell.
Twitter went down. The Apple website broke after being hit by a bizarre bug. Some users were unable to
called
log
Elon
in or
Musk.
get online at all. Those that could see something was strange. Tweets were displaying as if they were posted in 1970.
This
and
is what I
various
needed
posts
explaining.
refusing to load.
So the
I don't understand this at all.
Right, the reason why this happened, and I do know the answer to this one.
I knew you would.
There is a thing called the Unix epoch, which is how computers tell time.
That sounds like a Superman baddie.
It does a little bit. So the thing is, a lot around the world there are different measures of time. You know, because you've got all the different time zones, and some people approach dates differently. Like there are different calendars. Like in China, it uses different calendar to the West.
Yeah.
So the Unix epoch is a universally agreed on thing, which counts seconds from the 1st of January 1970, which means that everybody who writes software
Is they on the
can
same
have
thing?
the same time, because the core calculation for time goes all the way down to this Unix epoch. So when the Twitter app went down and tweets were saying they were posted in 1970, it's because they pushed some code that fucked up with the Unix epoch, and that caused all kinds of problems because their software didn't know how to read the tweets because they thought they were being tweeted 50 years ago.
Do you know if that happened? That's cool. Like if you had a tweet and it popped up saying you did it in 1970, it popped up saying 70-year birthday on fucking or whatever.
That's what I got. That pops up on my phone.
Did it?
So,
Okay,
this is actually
That was a
It was
joke.
an old joke.
this
I know.
this is actually technically the same thing as what the Millennium Bug was,
Uh-oh.
because the
Nukes are launching.
the Millennium Bug was the computers did a lot of date tracking with 2-digit years. So when it
Yes.
would go to 00, all the systems
Didn't know what to do.
all the systems would assume that meant 1900,
Oh.
not 2000. So that
So they invented time travel.
not really. They just had to fix it to make
It'd
it
have
a 4-digit date.
It'd have been
that's all.
cool if it'd have been cool if the Millennium Bug, instead of nukes going off, a wormhole opened up and said, "It's us from the 1900s. Come join us."
I mean, things have got universally shitter since the year 2000, so maybe that did happen.
Maybe it did. Maybe that's when the Matrix got switched on.
Now it's when Zod came to Earth and started fucking around in the background.
Yeah. True. Next.
Sadly, this is the one that has fans around the world mourning. Matthew Perry, who rose to global fame as one of the stars of the beloved sitcom Friends, has died. He was 54.
Really?
News of Perry's passing was first reported yesterday by the Los Angeles Times and TMZ, which reported he'd been found unresponsive at his California home by emergency services.
Fucking hell, I didn't know that. I've literally just found that out now. Oh, wow.
It is
I watched
really
that
sad.
film of a month, didn't I? That you chose for me. I watched that film with him when he was the...
not one of his
a debt collector thing.
Career highlights, unfortunately. No, this is very sad. Like, as someone I know, like, take the piss out of Friends, but like, as someone who grew up watching Friends, like, I absolutely love that show. It was a comfort show. He was obviously a huge part of that show. Very funny in it, and someone who struggled a lot with addiction and managed to overcome all that. And we don't know at this point, as we record this, what the actual reason was for to happen. But
the assumption was he had a cardiac arrest.
Yeah,
because he was sat in his hot tub and it's assumed he had a heart attack or cardiac arrest and then drowned as a result of that.
I think it might have just been unfortunately too many years catching up on him.
54.
That's no age.
But he had real issues with substance abuse and addiction. He had a jet ski accident in 1997 and he became addicted to painkillers.
They get you, them fuckers.
Painkillers became harder drugs, became alcohol. And he said in an interview he was clean as of kind of a couple of years ago. He said in an interview last year when he was promoting his autobiography that there's about 3 years of Friends he doesn't remember at all.
You can tell as well in some of those series he looks just emaciated.
There's one that he talks about. I think it's the episode where Chandler and Monica get married. He does the
spoiler alert.
He does the scene where like they do the vows and like it's at the end of the series thing, and then his handlers bundle him into the back of a pickup truck and drive him to rehab. Like he doesn't remember
that bad.
It was that bad. Like not into the back seat, like into the back bed, so that people couldn't see him, like cover him with a tarp.
Yeah.
It's really sad, and I kind of echo Stig's thing. Like Friends was a big comfort show for me. It was always kind of on in the background. Like I know it hasn't aged well, but I've watched all the episodes through quite a lot of times.
He's done more than Friends, though. You can't just hold him just up to Friends, can you?
No. It wasn't as successful, but a lot of people have come out since he's passed away saying that they really appreciated him being honest at like Alcoholics Anonymous and stuff like that. He went to a lot of therapy sessions and spoke about his addiction. So, he said he inspired a lot of people.
So his memoirs came out in November last year, 2022, and I saw in an interview in June of this year, he said he'd been 100% sober for 18 months. I hadn't touched anything like alcohol.
Wow.
So if that was the case, obviously it'd been 20 odd months. His autobiography is actually available on Spotify Premium, which I might give it a listen to because it's narrated by him as well. So it's just his story told by him.
Did he
just a shame
leave a wife, children behind or anything like that?
No, I don't think he was married.
I don't think so. But I just think it's a shame that it's taken this for me to actually realise to listen to his story because I've seen
sometimes it does
excerpts from it and it sounds quite brutal. I mean, his opening line of the book is basically, my name is Matthew and I should be dead. Like, because he technically did die at one point.
Yes, he did.
We've all been there.
That's
awful, bless him.
One thing that has been quite sweet is like the outpouring of love on like TikTok and on social media. And I've seen about 5 or 6 people repost like the scenes of him laughing and him having a good time on Friends.
Yeah.
There's a really great outtake. It's this kind of stupidly iconic scene, which probably shouldn't be that funny. It's where they're trying to carry a sofa up the stairs for Ross. Right. And Ross is constantly shouting, pivot, and they get it stuck. And it's such a silly scene, but there's a point where David Schwimmer, who plays Ross, shouts pivot in a really high voice. And they all break so hard. And you see this most genuine joy in his face. And that was at a time when he was in a really rough spot with his addiction. And it's just really nice to see that clip of him kind of just laughing uncontrollably in a carefree way.
Yeah, it's just it fucking sucks because, like I said, it's no age at all. It just done that.
That's the big tragedy for me. Like again, I'm not his biggest fan. I've openly admitted that. I would never badmouth someone after they died, but it's so young.
It is,
Yeah.
but
he's just so young. And a man that had a lot more to give in life, clearly.
Yeah, it's unfortunately that thing where, because of his addiction, because of all the kind of stress that he put his body through, it was kind of inevitable that he would die younger.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Well,
plus also,
fuck then, Anna.
Well, plus also jacuzzis are just really dangerous if you have any kind of heart condition.
Yes, they are. They tell you not to go in them, don't they?
Yeah, well, don't go in them alone.
Yeah, so you've got spotter, basically.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Matthew Perry lived alone.
Oh, God, that's really sad.
Yeah.
That's even sadder, isn't it?
Yeah.
Poor bloke.
I posted, I think it was like the final page of his book in our Discord, and it's...
Did you?
Quite a sobering, read, like just that last paragraph. And there's just other stuff as well he wrote in there. He's like, he talks about his like coming back to life, basically. And he's like, would I rather smoke or breathe? Breathe. What a wonderful thing we all take for granted. Like his whole book is just about this and him overcoming his time with an addiction and stuff. So yeah, I'm going to give it a listen to. I think it's especially as it's told from him.
Yeah, he's left a legacy which could save people's lives. This could really, like, I know it sounds horrible, but it could be a martyrdom where it kickstarts people to think, God, I loved him when I was a kid. I love watching Friends. I don't want to end up like that, so I'm going to get better. So it sounds awful, but you're trying to find light in these awful times. That could save someone's life that he's passed, if you get me.
Hoping so.
It's just fucking... It sucks, man. Don't matter who it is. Don't matter if you're an absolute complete baddie or you're a nice bloke like he seemed to have been. It just sucks. That is no age, man. That's no age.
Yeah,
younger than my mother.
I've been seeing, like Gadgets, I've been seeing all these Friends clips coming up on TikTok, which has been nice and fun.
I ain't seen anything about
this time.
You know, I don't read the news, but it's kind of shocked me, and I weren't a fan. I've literally just learned it as Biggie said it. I feel shit now.
Yeah, but I think even though you only watched the one season of Friends, I'm sure you can probably agree that Chandler's the best character in it.
He's got the best lines.
I can't remember. I liked Rachel.
But humble Rachel Green.
Yeah, she's my favourite. She's the best actor in it. But I didn't dislike him. I disliked the Matt LeBlanc. I hated him.
Well, no, as the series went on, they
but
got
now I've
into
said
their
that,
roles,
fucking hell, I might have killed him now. I feel bad. I don't wish death on anyone, honestly.
Chandler definitely had the best lines as it went on. Some of his are corkers.
Yeah, it's a real shame.
And he also played Benny in Fallout New Vegas.
He did.
He did. And he got that job because he asked his agent when he found out they were making New Vegas
he was a fan.
To get him a role because he was a huge Fallout fan.
Yeah, he was such a Fallout fan that he actually had to go and get injections in his hand because he was playing it so much that he fucked his hand up.
Yeah.
He was so obsessed with playing it that it gave him a problem with his hand, and he had to go get injections to get his pain in his hand sorted out.
I liked him in admire.
Yeah.
I liked him in The Whole 9 Yards. I know not everyone loves that.
No,
I like that. Whole 10 Yards, we don't talk about that, but Whole 9 Yards.
No, I've never seen that one. But Whole 9 Yards, he was. That's how I knew him. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. I liked him.
Yeah,
he's really good in The West Wing as well, but I've not watched it.
He cropped up a couple of times in The West Wing. He's very good in that. He cropped up once in Scrubs, and he had a really good episode run in that. So yeah, the series he did after Friends was called Studio 90 on the Sunset, Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip, and it was kind of it was a show about like a Saturday Night Live kind of program, and he was like the producer of the program, and he was really good in that. Bit more of a drama role, but he was very good in that. He was a very good actor. He just
did he have a bit of a like a Seinfeld thing where Seinfeld just that's where he got big from, and that he never lived up to Seinfeld. That kind of thing.
There's kind of a little bit of a curse of the Friends actors. Like not many of them have done other things, but but by the end of it, they were being paid $1 million each per episode. They didn't need to. No,
didn't need to.
Yeah.
It's Jennifer Aniston that's had the consistent career outside of Friends.
God, she's great. She's so good. But yeah, Matthew Perry. Sad that.
It is sad.
Mm-hmm.
Sad. Really sad. I'm sorry I can't be more. But you blindsided me with that one, mate. I didn't know. I didn't know. We've
got the Weird World Web, which might
cheer us up.
So this guy trolls his TikTok haters by getting tattoos of them. In his mission to bully the bullies of the internet, his account has been banned a whopping 22 times. He's currently going as Modern Day Angel, is an incredibly extra TikTok menace. The 27-year-old Tampa, Florida native has risen to notoriety through Spice as Hell retaliatory posts to haters. What started out as a pretty typical TikTok account focusing on topics like his religious upbringing and being gay has turned into a non-stop roasting session for anyone brave enough to criticize him in the comments. He does things like gets tattoos of his haters or their loved ones, even their babies, and is known for his incredibly intense, in-depth research into the personal lives of the commenters. Personal lives of the commenters, which he used to lord personal catastrophes over them, dredging up things from manslaughter charges to bear attack. Sometimes he marries the two approaches, like the time he found a restraining order against one of his haters issued by her ex and got it tatted on his back. More recently, he got a tattoo of a hater's dead dad with the Grim Reaper standing.
That's what I saw.
That's the one I saw as well.
That's the one I saw. Yeah,
it's a fucking great one because the person who he was trolling, like, had been giving him shit. So he goes on a TikTok account, and there's this picture of her dad, like, in, like, the hospital with, like, the kind of breathing stuff on, all that.
Oh, God.
And that's when he gets tattooed with a Grim Reaper just hugging him.
Oh my God.
As a procurer of terrible tattoos and a big fan of chaos, this guy is my kind of guy.
The funniest thing as well is he doesn't spend much on his tattoos. They are done by
perfect. Neither do I.
They're so shit. Yeah, the hand that's coming around for the Grim Reaper is like it's so bad.
I love people that don't take it too seriously. Sorry, Candy, I know it's your thing, but I love a shit tattoo so much.
Oh, he's prime cover-up target.
There's another one he did where it's obviously someone who'd been trolling him for being gay, so he's got them tattooed on his back with like a gay slogan underneath it, and like kind of made that person into like tried to make them look like a gay icon on his back.
Love it. I love him, and I'm going to look him up because I'd never seen this. That's fantastic.
It's absolute chaos. It's Agent of Chaos shit.
That's what I'm into, man. If I had money, I'd get the worst tattoos ever.
You have the worst tattoos ever. You've got toast on your wrist.
Couldn't do it.
No, but I'd get even more. It'd be ridiculous. I'd have Cilla Black on my back. Surprise! Just on my back.
No regret.
So fucking. I just have so much. I hate when people. I'm sorry, Stig. Sorry, Candy. I hate when people take themselves too seriously like that. It's just against what I believe in.
Have you seen Candy's tattoos?
I've got these pretty bad
ones. These are on me permanently. I don't want something that I'm going to look at.
These are on
and
me
think,
permanently.
Yeah, but I don't want to look at something and go, "That looks shit." Like,
I love it.
No.
I fucking love it.
Oodles, you need to get onto the shitty tattoo subreddit. It's fucking incredible.
No, I'd win.
Hey, test it. Send me a picture of any one of your tattoos, and I'll post it there and see what they think.
You should see some on me. I've got one on my ass, mate. I'll show you that one. It's so fucking funny. It's just a carrot. I've got a carrot on my bum.
I mean, buy me a drink first, at least.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, what's up, Jack?
No, it don't even look like a carrot. It looks like a weird orange finger.
I mean, that's what carrots are.
I hadn't seen it in years because it's on my ass.
Actually, I found one here which Stig will hate and love, which is the Zack Snyder's Justice League logo.
I'd get that.
That's his shoulder.
I'd get that, but I'd get it other way around so it looks wrong. I'd make it wrong.
Can we all just take a moment to remember? I actually have the Modern Escapism logo tattooed on me as well.
That's the shittiest of tattoos.
The shittiest.
Where?
On
my
ankle.
Oh.
On my ankle.
We should all get that tattooed on us somewhere.
Mate, I'd get it tattooed on my neck. I don't give a fuck.
Get the spaceman helmet on your face.
I would.
Modern Escapism across your forehead.
Oh, look at that! That's a shit.
Wow.
That's a shit little Kirby thing,
That's
isn't
a cursed Kirby.
I think he's quite cute.
I like it. I'd have that. I'd have it next to my toast on my wrist.
Wank.
Oh, brilliant! Needed that. That's exactly the kind of content I'm into. Right, it's time for the main chunk of the podcast. I know that was a bit of a chunk.
I think that was the main chunk.
I was going to say
we had a eulogy.
That was a long one.
Don't worry. By the time we've gotten here, I will have cut out a few things.
Yeah. We had a nice eulogy and it needed to happen. So, what's everyone been up to this week? Nothing's come out, really, has it? Candy.
Did it all last week.
Well, as always, I'm on the bleeding edge of things that have been released, and I've been watching the first season of Designated Survivor, which was released in 2016.
That I told you to watch 2 years ago.
That's the one, yeah. So, in case you need a refresher, it's a political drama starring Kiefer Sutherland. And the premise is that during Congress, there's one person chosen to be in a different location, so 2 people, kind of. Mm-hmm. That's a spoiler, though.
It's not spoiler, that's what they do in real life. 2 people are the designated survivors.
Is it a real thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's stupid. Well, the reason
that makes perfect sense.
Different parts of Washington.
Oh,
from opposing parties. One for the Republicans, one for whatever.
You need a president and a vice president.
As is represented in the show.
This, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, yeah, sure enough, Congress is blown up and Kiefer Sutherland is appointed president. And that seems to be the absolute least of his problems. It all kind of spirals from there.
It really is the least of his problems.
Who do you trust? Or, inside jobs, this, that, and the other. I didn't watch it the first time round because I did think the premise was stupid. Not my cup of tea.
It's realistic. It's based on truth.
It's fucking not realistic in the fucking slightest.
It's a real thing.
No, the concept is a real thing. The plot line they give you is not realistic in the fucking slightest.
No, of
come
course.
on.
No.
So I got hooked on it, and only the way like an American TV drama can hook people. Not because it's good necessarily, but you've got so many like scene cuts and everything. It kind of preys on your psychology.
Yes.
So
have you noticed you can predict when the episode's ending because the music starts ramping up.
That's the one.
Episode ended.
Bum, bum, bum. So yeah, there's loads of quick jump cuts. Things are being explained repeatedly for the more stupid in the audience, like myself. So, absolutely loved it. Couple of gripes. I think the season's too long. So I've binged this, and I'm on episode 13 or 14 of about 15.
Don't binge it too much. It's ending very soon. Trust me.
Yeah.
It just
ended. It's cancelled.
It is. It's 3.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
3 and done, isn't it? So yeah, I think it's a little bit long. Some of the there's a little bit of pacing issues. There's some storylines as well that are just kind of forgotten about. Like I don't know if it comes back to it because I haven't finished. But the son was a drug dealer. That never really got addressed. They just sort of forgot.
The son that's in thingy
Cobra Kai.
In Cobra Kai.
Yeah. Oh, he's a handsome devil.
He's a child.
Whatever. He doesn't look like it. It's fine. So yeah, no, it's.
I'm getting the word. No,
it's different when it's my way round. We don't get in trouble for that kind of thing.
Is it really? Girls can't be nonsense, can they?
Stop talking.
Nonsense.
Nonsense. Oh yeah.
We didn't get teachers like that when I were at school.
But yeah, I've been really enjoying it. It's very bingeable. It's completely daft, but you know what? Kiefer Sutherland makes a really kind of presidential president as well. Like they really lean on the fact that it's a head of state rather than just your normal politician.
Do you know my favourite scene? And I think it's at the end of season episode 1, where they say, "You're addressing the nation. Can you take your glasses off because it's not very presidential?"
Not very presidential.
And Kiefer Sutherland's face is like, I can't read without my glasses. And I don't know. There's something about Kiefer Sutherland that, especially the older he gets, he's just more stoic, and he's morphed into his dad.
Oh,
big style.
Absolutely, he absolutely has. It's quite captivating to watch, to be fair. But,
he's the best thing in it, and Maggie Q, because I could watch Maggie Q fucking walking up a ladder any day.
It's just reminded me, actually, Kiefer Sutherland, a film that I've got to watch. I want to watch the Caine Mutiny Court Martial with him in.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. We saw the trailer for
watched.
that. Yeah, I'm going to watch that.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, that's been my week.
Carry on with it, mate, because even though it got cancelled, it doesn't end on a cliffhanger.
I was going to say, as long as I know that it's kind of satisfying.
No,
I don't really know where it's going to go after this season, to be quite honest. But
it goes
I
places,
take it things get worse.
They escalate. But there's, I don't know if it's season 2 or season 3. At one point, there's just a down, like five or six episodes where nothing really happens, and it's just him living his life and having a good time.
That's why
This happy
it needs to be
episode.
I don't want happy. I want drama.
No, there is, honestly.
Drama in my dramas. If I wanted happiness, I could.
Fucking
Then the
drama
zombies
queen, aren't
turn
you?
up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, wait while the zombies come. It's a great show. It's proper, like 24. Again, he's in that as well, isn't he?
24, West Wing. Like American drama.
Yeah, if you're not into your jingoistic stuff, don't bother. It is America. Fuck yeah. Apart from the fact that he doesn't like launching missiles, does he?
Well, I mean, yeah.
And the military don't like him because he doesn't.
Yeah.
Start launching missiles for fuck's sake.
Press the button. I would if I was a president. I was like, oh, what's this do?
I know you would.
Oops.
And that's why you're not. Is that all you've been doing? It's enough.
Me.
I mean, that is enough. That's enough.
Yeah. Absolutely binged it.
Gadget, you've been to Horror Town, haven't you?
I have, because I've been playing Alan Wake 2. Brand new game from Remedy, who are rapidly becoming one of my favorite developers, because apart from Quantum Break, I don't think they've had a miss.
Quantum Break's good.
No, Quantum Break's not bad. I'm saying it's not
great.
It's not amazing. It tried something and it didn't nail it.
Yeah.
Alan Wake 2 is a 2023 survival horror game developed by Remedy, and unfortunately published by Epic Games, which is the most annoying part of it. I had to install the Epic Games launcher, which I never had to have. For the first,
you can't get it on Steam?
No, it's not on Steam. It's on Xbox and PlayStation, but I wanted to play it on PC because I wanted all the fucking whiz bangs and wonderfulness of what the PC can do with it.
Of course, why not?
So this is a sequel 13 years in the making, because the original Alan Wake came out in 2010 when we were all so young.
Christ.
Yeah. Fucking 24. So this kind of follows on from it, but it does address the fact that there is a 13-year gap in it. Alan himself has been missing for 13 years after the ending of the original Alan Wake. This game's fucking phenomenal. It's really fucking good. So, the layout for the game has changed. It is not a direct... narratively, it's a direct sequel, but it's not a direct sequel in terms of the mechanics of it. Unlike in Alan Wake 1, where you play as the titular author, who's in a Stephen King kind of thing, but it's a Twin Peaks kind of thing.
He's narrating the whole thing, isn't it?
He's narrating the whole thing, and he's finding pages of his own manuscript, which are detailing what's going on in the world, and he's shooting up shadowy bastards. This has a dual narrative. So you have Alan Wake himself as one part. He's a playable character in it. And then you also have a new character called Saga Anderson. Who is an FBI agent who was brought to Bright. She is a badass. She's brought to Bright Falls, which is the town that the original Alan Wake took place in, to find out something about a weird, strange murder, a cultish, ritualistic murder, where the victim's heart was pulled out of him, and a page of manuscript was left in its place.
They definitely were a victim. Did you see the size of his knob? Tiny.
Oh yeah. There's nakedness and cocks immediately.
He had such a small knob. I was like, oh.
Candy's like,
to be fair, he had just climbed out of a lake.
So I've climbed out of lakes before.
It's set in Washington. It'll be cooled.
That's true. Tiny knob.
That's what we used to call footy dick. After a game of football.
yeah, when it was freezing. I've got footy dick.
So the biggest thing about this is one of the most technically brilliant games I've ever played. It is
I don't know how it pulls it off me. I don't know how it pulls it off.
Like, I'm playing it on PC. I'm not using ray tracing or anything like that because, like, my graphics card can handle it, but I want the frames. I want the 60 frames a second. It is fucking beautiful. And just in terms of the rendering and the way the world is, but Remedy always had really great visuals. What they've exceeded at this time is facial animations. I don't know what they've done different to other studios that capture facial animations, but they look human. There's no uncanny valley here. These look like real people speaking, which is fucking incredible. Mr. Sam Lake himself appears in the game as
so ugly.
as FBI agent Alex Casey, who, if you've played the original Alan Wake, you will remember Alex Casey was the name of the detective in Alan Wake's novels
that he wrote. Yeah.
So the worlds are all kind of blurring to side to side. It's not as linear as the original Alan Wake was. The original Alan Wake, you kind of start at a point in the level, you work through, you do some combat, a couple of puzzles.
It took me 3 hours to do that opening bit.
Yeah, now you've kind of got more. When you're playing a saga, you've got more kind of open areas.
There's puzzles and stuff in there.
There's puzzles, but they're kind of open areas that you'll work your way around and kind of loop back to the start.
Yeah.
And in the Alan sections, they're more linear, but there is a really interesting.
Like the original.
There's a really interesting mechanic to it because Alan is stuck in this kind of weird dream world. Yeah. And you are having to. The only way he can get out of it is to write his novel. So you are piecing together the story, and you've got kind of a storyboard to work with it. And you'll go to an area, and he's like, okay, what's the connection with the murder? And then you'll go and you'll find like a bit of dialogue from someone else, and you're like, then that's this cult going in. So then you put the cult into the storyboard, and it changes the level.
Make it simple. It's like he's changing a set in a play.
Yeah.
The whole level adjusts to what you've chosen. And there's always a right way, because it opens a door, or it does. Yeah,
but it's these weird temporal spatial puzzles.
It's instant.
It's instant. The performance of all the actors is fucking brilliant in this one. There are, because it was kind of confirmed in the DLC for Control, Remedy's universe is all one universe. So you have this moment where Alan is on a talk show, and he has Sam Lake next to him, who is playing the actor who plays Alex Casey in the film. And you get a clip of the film, and you get Max Payne dialogue. Yeah. And I giggled like a fucking idiot at that, because it was proper original Max Payne dialogue. There are so many kind of twists and turns and references to the other Remedy games, even to Quantum Break, which is kind of the redheaded stepchild of their franchise. There's the main actor from Quantum Break is in it. Sean, what's his name? I can't remember his name.
Him who played Iceman.
Iceman in X-Men films.
That guy.
Yeah, that famous actor.
Yeah, that famous guy.
I'm about four hours into the game. The game 5 hours in. Film. I am absolutely loving it. And what I'm loving actually as well is, despite all the strange shit, despite all the weird meta-narrative, they've gone horror. It is a scary, creepy game.
I had to turn it off at one point because it scared me.
There are jump scares, there is gore, there is weird, uncomfortable shit. It's like creeping dread through, especially in the Alan levels.
Not the worst things is when you just walk in and it goes, the screen just fucking wobbles and changes and contorts. And I just shit myself, and I had to turn it off and play Spider-Man.
Oh, bless you.
I didn't have my light on in my bedroom, and I was like, whew. I was like, no. It is genuinely scary. I think it's the scariest game I've played in a long time.
They've made the combat better than the original game. They've fixed a lot of problems in the game. There are some problems from the original game that's still there. Some of the dialogue is a little bit chunky and cheesy.
This is what I was about to jump on, because you said the acting's incredible. No, the leads are incredible.
Oh, the side characters.
Everyone else is fucking horrendous. And I know it's a deliberate Twin Peaks homage, because everyone else around Kyle MacLachlan and everyone else was shite.
Yeah.
But it bugs me because it's really bad. Do you know what I mean? That woman you meet in the diner.
Oh, Rose. Yeah, she's terrible.
Horrendous. And I know it's deliberate. I can tell it's deliberate because I've played every Remedy game and they've done good dialogue since Max Payne.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know that this is, but it bugs me.
I think as well, with how kind of twisty and complicated the story is, I think Sam Lake is kind of, this is the peak of his writing at the minute. I haven't finished the game, so I don't know how it pays off at the end.
It's really good, especially the prose when you're reading stuff.
Yeah, when you get the pages,
on
the
notes
actual
and
text.
logs. Yeah, it's really good. Like, I would read an Alan Wake book.
Yeah,
I would read one of his novels.
When you're playing a saga, that plays a little bit more like the traditional Alan Wake in the respect that you're finding the manuscript. So she's piecing together Alan's story, whereas when you play as Alan, he's writing the story.
Yes.
So what I'm hoping is by the time I come back to Saga next, that she'll then be finding the pages that he's written.
So can I just jump in there? Because I don't know how far you've got, but I've got to a point in the game where I can switch between Saga and Alan at any time.
So I'm not quite there. I'm currently working through the subway in New York.
Yeah. So you're very close to that. But so I'm not going to spoil anything, but one thing, and it's so far I can't give it like an amazing score because I do not like Alan Wake's segments in this game. I don't like them.
Well, the one I'm playing, I really like.
I don't like it. There's too much faffing. There's too much messing about with that lamp. Saga's bits are amazing. And now I know I can play the rest of this game as her. That makes me happy because I'm like, I can ignore it, but I've eventually got to do Alan Wake's bits. But I don't know. I don't like how the baddies operating is. Like, basically, listener, these shadows, and sometimes the shadows are enemies, sometimes they're not enemies, and you're wasting bullets and ammo on nothing. And in Saga's world, they're all physical. You can shoot them, and it's more like a Resident Evil.
Yeah,
that's what I don't like about it. I'm wasting resources for no reason because there's no tell.
The rest of tell I found if you burn them with the torch,
but you're using torch batteries.
Well, yeah, but you're not using ammo. And the torch batteries are more prevalent than the ammo is.
If they change the combat in his sections where there were physical enemies, not shadow enemies, I'd love it.
Yeah, I'm really liking Alan's section mostly because I really like the way the story is going in it. I also quite like that it's this kind of complicated exploration path. I get your criticisms there.
Her bits, Saga's bits are incredible. It's like True Detective.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
The actress who plays Saga, and I don't have her name to hand, but she's fucking brilliant.
She's incredible. All the main ones are great. They're really good, and the actual live action cutscenes are fantastically acted.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I forgot to mention that. Like a lot of the cutscenes are live action. So the
Quantum Break.
Yeah. But good. And without him from Game of Thrones.
Littlefinger. He was great.
Littlefinger. Yeah, he was the best thing in that game, actually.
He was.
Like I say, I'm only 4 hours in. It could shit the bed beyond where I am, but
I don't think it's going to shit the bed. I don't think it's going to shit the bed. It's that juxtaposition. Sometimes to me, the game doesn't know what it wants to be, and it's doing that for you. It's like, because I can switch at any time. The timeline goes with my character, and I can go back and play as Alan and do it all the way leading up to how far I've got with Saga, and vice versa. And that's really clever because if you get bored of one, you can go to the other and have a different experience.
I really rate this game. I don't think it's Game of the Year. That's still Baldur's Gate 3. But this is a really fucking high up, top bar achievement. And even if you just play it just to see the fucking state of the graphics, my God, it's a pretty game.
Stunning.
I've heard it's good on the PS5 as well.
Yeah,
mate, I'm playing ray tracing mode. I'm playing 30 frames per second. It's stunning.
There's a moment right at the beginning of the second chapter. So it might be the second chapter or the beginning of the third chapter. Either way, you're standing at the lake at sunrise, and you look out over the mountains, and like I'm playing
like a blood sun, innit?
Yeah, like at that moment, like I put on HDR and I turned on ray tracing just to get a screenshot.
It's insane, innit?
Fucking unreal. And the fact they can do it on a PS5 and an Xbox Series X is just Remedy. They're fucking gods at this.
There was one scene near the beginning of the game. A lot of people have missed it because I've had a look online. There's the one bit where when you're playing as Alan in the dark place, you walk past the mirror, and if you look in the mirror, and the mirror's it's proper reflecting the mirror.
Yeah.
But if you walk away, he's still stood at the mirror staring at you, and I shit myself. I absolutely shit myself. I was like, what the fuck? Because that I could have not done that. That's what I like about Remedy. They don't care about wasting stuff. You can go off a beaten path and.
I got that one even though I'm not using ray tracing because they obviously.
Oh, you still saw it?
They specifically animated that mirror.
Oh right, that makes sense.
That's not a ray tracing one, but yeah, I had that as well, and it's a good creepy moment.
Shit me, sen. Who just stood there?
If you like horror games, I would really recommend Alan Wake 2. Candy, you'll fucking hate it. It's very scary.
Yeah, don't play it with headphones in like I did because I got whispered into. Whispered in and I shit myself.
The amount of times when you go into the subway and all you hear is Alan.
Awful.
So yeah,
awful. But it is great. I'm looking forward to getting my teeth sunk into it because it's bigger than a game that I'm going to talk about next. A lot bigger. Spider-Man 2. Are you going to jump in with me there, Stig?
Yeah.
Spider-Man's 2. Spider-Man's.
Yeah.
Finished Spider-Man's in 3 days. Platinum. Yeah, baby.
Not rushed.
You can't rush it. It's platinum. You've got to do everything, haven't you? You got to do everything.
3 days.
It's just built different. I'm not going to bury the lead. I think this is fucking phenomenal. Some people have been down on this game. It took me 3 days to beat it and platinum it, and not once did I think, God, that's too short. I thought this was a perfect length. I was ready for it to end when it ended. It's now gone up there as my favourite Spider-Man story. By far. I think it's exceptional. That's the story anyway. The gameplay, I mean, Stig could probably touch more onto that because he's done more gameplay than I have, clearly, because he's still playing it.
No, I jump in slow. I take things slow, mate. Take things slow.
I did.
Like
it took me 17 hours to platinum it, I think it did. Which is fine, isn't it? That's nice and nice meaty game. I don't think there's any chaff or wastage in this game. That's why I think it's short. It's not wasting your time ever.
Yeah, so far none of the side missions feel too pointless.
No, because you get something for it, don't you?
Yeah, there is some stuff there, but I don't think that it's doing anything better that I don't know, because it's very much Spider-Man 1 and Miles Morales. Like,
I think it's better than both.
Yeah, it is better. I'm finding it better, but I don't think that it's evolved it so much that it's kind of made it too different. I think the structure of it is kind of the same, yeah, and the swinging around the same. And obviously it adds in the gliding now, which is fun, and the combat is much. Actually, the combat is better because I think in the original Spider-Man, if you want to change between certain special moves and buttons. Gadgets, you had to like hold a button down, select it, and choose it. Whereas this one gives you the option to hold a button and press circle, triangle, X, or square to do that move, which is much better.
It's fluid, isn't it?
Yeah,
and I don't know. It like Batman Arkham Asylum started. It's that stretchy combat where you're always glued to somebody, but it works perfectly in the Spider-Man's world because that's what he's like anyway.
Mm.
And again, it is very. I didn't realize that until I was about halfway through it, how different it is playing as Miles than it is to Peter.
I prefer Miles so much more than Peter.
I don't know. By the end, I was maining as Peter because I prefer his specials later on in the story. I'm not spoiling anything, but he gets some really good powers because at first Miles is way overpowered. He's got invisibility and everything, and electric powers, and Peter's Peter. But it gets really good, and it's got some really good moments, some downtime moments that I didn't expect. Yeah, like going to the school and stuff like that, and there's a science bit, and there's fairgrounds and stuff that you get to play around in and do loads of weird mini games and stuff. And it's good. None of it feels like I'm wasting my time. And that's what I'm saying. People saying, oh, it needs to be 40 hours long. Again, yes, I did platinum it in 17 hours, but I just felt it was perfectly paced, completely from start to finish. I was extremely satisfied. And I got that platinum without really thinking about it.
Yeah, I genuinely think this might be my first platinum because I've looked at the achievements list.
I didn't even think about it.
Most of them, it is basically storyline or storyline, unlock your suits or do the side missions.
There's a few skill-based ones. There's a few but that I'd already done before I'd even checked them.
Yeah. Yeah, they seem like the kind of ones where you're doing a fight and all of a sudden it pops up, say, you've done this 50 times.
Have I?
Cool.
Exactly. The story, how it ends, everything about it is just stunning, and you're unlocking stuff constantly. And it's drip feeding stuff into you, and you're never overwhelmed ever. And the fucking SSD stuff that this game does, how it can instantly change locale without a load. You can when you fast travel, when you start unlocking fast travel, it's instant. I don't know how it manages that.
You played Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart.
No. Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, I think Kurt lent me it. Yeah, I did love that.
That has moments where
it's the same guys as well.
It's the same team, so that has moments
that makes a lot of sense.
Where you kind of shift between like areas and you
instantly
you go through portals and it instantly changes the stuff.
And I love that about that. That makes sense now. That's what this does remind me of. That. Oh fucking hell! It just lost me. But yeah, I think it's an incredible achievement, and people are ragging on it just because of its length. I mean, fuck you. I think it's perfect. I genuinely I will give it a 10 out of 10.
There's a few bugs I haven't experienced. Spider-Man. He's an arachnid. He even says that in the game when someone calls him a bug. When someone calls him a bug, he goes, "It's arachnid." No, there was a few bugs on the first weekend of launch, which they have ironed out now.
Was there?
Yeah.
I didn't get it on first weekend.
There was one where if you change to a certain suit, it turns Spider-Man into a cube. Like literally just a white cube.
I saw that was great.
And I had a couple on the opening weekend where when it's taking you through that first few missions of, tutorials,
yes,
it kept freezing on me and at the start of the tutorial, and it took about 30 seconds before I could even move or anyone moved. So there's a bit of,
I didn't see any of that because
there's a bit of clipping here and there and everywhere where you put your fist literally through someone's face, but that's all kind of, I think, being ironed out in the patches. So if you're going to get it now, then it's not really an issue. I
genuinely think it's flawless. I'd give it a 10 out of 10 because I'm just, like Biggie said it perfect. I'm completely satisfied. I'm satiated. I feel like it was worth the money I paid for it. Yeah, I didn't pay full whack. That is a disclaimer. I did not pay 70 quid for it because I wouldn't. But I don't know. I just, when you get that sense of accomplishment like you used to get when you used to sit and play games in your bedroom, and that's basically what I do anyway. But that little, I don't know. When credits run, and then you get to free roam a bit, and then 10 seconds later, I've got a platinum pop up. I went, whoa! I didn't even know it. Do you know what I mean? I weren't even chasing it, and I just feel like, you've done it. You've made that perfect for me. It was just, I don't know. I absolutely, I think it's better than Arkham Knight, Arkham City.
Is it an easy platinum? Is it?
Well, I didn't even know I was doing it, mate.
Yeah, I think I'll be able to platinum this, and that means that it's definitely an easy platinum.
I didn't know I was platinum it, and then never did it. I mean,
the original one was easy enough to do, apart from the little challenges. But again, it was quite an easy platinum. I haven't
the
done
challenges in this
yet.
are fun. I love doing them, and you got new costumes for doing them.
Yeah, the challenges. There was a lot of challenges in that first game. Where I was just like, this is fucking boring.
Yeah, like kill wave after wave after wave,
chasing pigeons.
But I was going to say, they've still got those chasing pigeons ones.
Yeah,
no,
yeah, that was a terrible fucking side quest. And also there's one where you had to power up Harry's fucking boxes around the city or something like that.
Yeah, there's a good one on this where you get to control drone bees and shoot other bees. That's a good one.
Mint.
It's good.
I don't know, I felt a bit like, why am I doing this when I did that?
I like a little bit of insecticide with my gaming.
You can ride bikes as well.
Oh yeah, there is a bit where you ride a push bike. Spider-Man. I just
thought, and the world, like all you get Astoria and Queens and all that, Brooklyn, which you didn't get on the last one. You were just in the middle island, weren't you? Staten Island.
Yeah,
but you've got all Manhattan. Sorry, yeah, and you get so much more. And there's like woods and forests. Do you know what I mean? There's more to it, and I don't know. I just fucking adored it. I think it's the best superhero game I've ever played.
And you can swim and glide across the water, whereas like in the Spider-Man, if you fell in the water, you just kind of webbed out, didn't you?
It can tread water now.
Whereas this, you can actually swim, or you can use your speed to kind of skip across, and your webs to skip across the water, which is kind of cool. And like I say, you've got your glide, and there's like wind kind of tunnels that you can go through to kind of keep your glide going.
I think it's sensational.
The world is a lot more. People have said, I've seen people go, no, there's no difference. I was like, if you put Spider-Man 1 against this one, there is about 6 or 7 times more people and cars. That city is way more alive than it was in the first one.
How much have you spent on the ground? Because I was walking through Greenwich Village today, and people going, Spidey! I'm clapping their hands, I'm slapping people on the back and slapping their asses and doing all that.
I think that it doesn't do enough of that. I think that...
Oh, we're doing it low.
I know, but I think for the amount that Spider-Man is around, and if he drops in front of you, there's a lot of times where people just don't react. And you're like, if Spider-Man dropped in front of you out of nowhere, you would react, wouldn't you? Even if it was
just... There is a few times in this game,
people just carry
story,
on, and they're just like...
In the story, when Spider-Man turns up in people's houses, and they go, oh, hi, Spider-Man. Like, what the fuck? It just come through your house? I did notice that. Yeah, there is a bit of that, but... I really like Harry Osborn character in this. I think he's fucking brilliant. He's no James Franco. He's way better. I don't know. There's something about it, and I just found it fucking lovely. You know when a game's lovely?
Yeah.
This is lovely.
It's not complicated. Like
yeah, just fun.
Or doesn't piss you off. There isn't any point where I'm trying to fight or swing somewhere and go fucking getting annoyed. Like it's just it's fluid. It's fun. I'm only about probably 8 hours in. So
you're nearly at end then.
Yeah.
I'm joking, you're not. I thought that at first. I was like, fucking hell, I'm 10 hours in. But then I was 10 hours in and I'd not done any at story. I think the mainline story is short. That's the thing.
I want to do the side stuff because I don't.
Yeah, do it.
I did that in Spider-Man 1. I do the side stuff and then I'll jump into the main mission every now and again.
Yeah, I don't know. I just really. I know people rag on it and people be like, it's fucking better than Batman Arkham City. Yeah, it is, in my opinion. I think it's the best superhero game I've ever played. Loved it. Absolute banger. Whew, got that off my chest. Stig, you got any more, mate?
Yeah, a couple of things. I'm 4 episodes now into Loki season 2, so I could probably talk about that a bit more. I don't know if you've watched any of it yet. No. So it kind of keeps up that same feel and aesthetic and charisma between the two leads as you got in the first series. So you kind of got all that. All the characters are still mint. Story.
They still feel a bit Wes Anderson-y.
Yeah, it's still got that feel to the TVA, like that Wes Anderson kind of bureaucracy kind of weird look. It does feel a bit now, though, a lot more self-contained. TVA is meant to be kind of this huge world in itself.
Yeah.
It feels very compact, like we only stick around these few rooms.
Few officers.
And interact with these few people, and it just doesn't feel as a world, it doesn't feel as expanded on as the first series.
Is that possibly because it's a COVID production?
I had no idea.
I mean, we saw the wider world at nearer the end of last season, didn't we? That like, the TVA is a big grand world, but I think what Stig's saying is they've just not elaborated on that.
No, they haven't. They've kind of kept it. It's very corridor-esque, like, and everyone seems to run into each other as and when they need to for plot devices.
The 10 people that work there.
Yeah, it very much feels like not a lot of people work there, considering it's meant to be this kind of huge world. But it's kind of following on from season 1. Spoiler alert for season 1. I'm going to go into it now. After, obviously, He Who Remains is dispatched, it kind of goes into what's happening with. At the end of that season, Loki goes back to TVA, and all of a sudden there's a huge statue of Kang there, and
he's in like a different timeline,
Mobius doesn't know who he is, and that's how that ends. And it picks up exactly from that point there, and we get a bit more explanation into what's going on. It's very simple kind of explanation, really. It's not as it isn't as satisfying as I wanted it to be, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
It's very much kind of covered within the first episode and done with. And then...
All right, really?
Yeah.
Forget that.
And then other stuff starts happening. There's more branches start to kind of come off, and it's causing all kinds of...
we saw that at the end of the last one, didn't we?
Havoc in the TVA. Timeline. It's causing the time loom to kind of fall in on itself. And to save this, they need to get a Kang variant. So Victor Timely is... the Kang variant in this.
Fuck off! Victor Timely's in it.
Yeah. So the Kang variant in this is Victor Timely, and that's kind of where I'm up to at the moment. We've just got to the end of episode 4. It's kind of fun in it does this kind of thing because the episode where he's introduced goes to this kind of like vaudevillain style.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
That's Victor Timely, and he in the comics, might be different. In the comics, he got told to make the TVA from Kang in the future.
That's kind of what happens here. Not to get too much spoilers, but
so have they managed to sidestep Jonathan Majors then, have they?
No, he's still in it.
He filmed before all that.
He filmed it all.
Oh, okay.
They might change his face at last episode.
Whatever happens with that, don't know. It's to me, it's an easy workaround in that apparently the Kangs and the variants we've seen so far aren't superior ultimate Kang. So you could just literally have him go, I based all my variants on someone who didn't look like me, so no one could figure out I was me. And I've
Quite easy.
and I've just changed. Oh, they could just recast it and act like nothing,
And never acknowledge it.
Yeah. But variants, and the fact that we've seen in Loki season 1 that not all variants, and with Sylvie, not all variants look like the actual character. So yeah, you can get around that easily.
It's not a biggie, is it? It's not a big problem.
No, it isn't really. But yeah, it kind of has this fun feel in that episode where there's kind of like this jaunty music playing. Victor Timely is this kind of con man doing things like that, and it's Loki and Sylvie and Mobius and Renslayer all kind of trying to track him down.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
It is.
Does he have a stutter like he does in the books?
Yes.
Good.
Good. But it is confusing as fuck.
Why?
Because this last episode, I'm like, I kind of get what's going on. I'm not really sure because there's a lot of science and made up pseudoscience thrown in there, and it's like
timey-wimey.
Yeah, does it make sense? I don't know. At the end of episode 4, you're kind of like, what the fuck is going to happen now? And
to be fair, season 1 of Loki was like that. Like it really
it's ramped it up though.
It really benefited for me and people. We watched Loki season 1 after it all been aired, so we binged it. So when it got into the pseudoscience-y stuff, we could get to the next episode.
To watch it weekly, didn't we, pal?
Yeah. But
those were fun days when we were guessing what was going to happen in the next episode.
I loved doing that.
It wasn't what we guessed.
Every time it's like, here's a prediction. Didn't happen.
Never happened.
Predictions were good though. But Ki Hu Kwan is great as Obi. He just
Ouroboros.
Yeah, he just fits in with that kind of feel and that world. And I was watching him in this last episode, and I said to Kate, I was like, how the fuck did this man get no work for the last 20 years?
Yeah.
Racism.
I like him. I think, racists.
Yeah. But he's great. He's great. He just fits naturally within the TVA world. Like that character just works.
Yeah. Ouroboros was a woman, but I'm not angry. I'm not going to be angry. But it's
not my
cool.
Ouroboros.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool that they've actually brought. It's like Victor Timely. They're bringing like really like deep cuts into. I mean, they had a Goliath on last fucking season. I'm like, what the fuck? Never thought I'd see that in my lifetime.
Yeah,
but it's great.
I get people's complaints. I've read people's complaints. They just think it's kind of just made up bollocks, and it doesn't seem to have much consequence with what's going on.
It's based on fucking stuff that's been written down 40 years ago.
In the overarching MCU, but I think it does, actually, if you kind of look into it and where you think it's going to go, it is going to fuck the MCU up, I think.
I'm excited to get into it. I'm going to probably start watching some tonight,
actually. Genuinely, there's only 2 episodes left. Maybe wait and just binge it all.
That's what
could do, couldn't I?
Just wait 2 weeks. Wait 2 weeks and you can watch it all in one go.
Yeah, man.
And then the other,
I like Tom Hiddleston anyway.
Yeah, I mean, him and Mobius in this, just just him, Tom Hiddleston and Owen Wilson in this, just bounce off each other so well. They're just so good. The moments, especially when they're kind of jumping around from place to place, or doing like kind of chasing, is great. Or just the moments when they're just sat down chatting, they just bounce off each other.
And how Mobius never seems phased.
Oh yeah,
he's just enjoying himself.
There is literally a point where he just goes, "All right, time for pie." he just wants to eat. Because there is no kind of time in the TV, is there?
To him, it's forever, isn't it?
So he just wants a piece of pie. Yeah, it's great. The other thing I watched this week wasn't great. It's Saw X.
Saw X, so 10.
Saw 10, the 10th Saw film in the franchise.
I've only seen the first one.
I have seen them all. This is the.
Am I a bit
10th.
behind?
Yeah, just a bit.
just a touch.
This one is a prequel to Saw 1.
Fucking hell!
Right.
Oh no!
They've reached that point of the franchise.
Why did they call it Saw 0 then?
Because it's X number 10, isn't it?
Okay.
But at least in this one, they didn't have what's his name, Tobin Bell, put on like a cap backwards to make him look younger. That's how. That's basically in other Saw films where they did flashbacks. It's like, how do we make?
You were old in Latin first.
Yeah, it's like, how do we make him more like it's meant to be set like 10 years before this in this flashback? Let's just put a cap on him. So
that's funny.
Yeah. So X, hoping for a miracle cure, John Kramer travels to Mexico for a risky and experimental medical procedure, only to discover the entire operation is a scam to defraud the most vulnerable. Armed with this newfound purpose, the infamous serial killer uses deranged and ingenious traps to turn the tables on the con artists. That's it.
What can turn a man to do that to somebody?
That is it. And then all we get is a series of just self-surgery and kind of traps and torture porn. And that's it. And there's some reason...
Does they still have that little guy on a bike?
Yeah. This is ranked as the this is the best ranked Saw film on Rotten Tomatoes. And I'm racking my brains to think, why? Because the first two...
79% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Because the first two are much better than this.
I like the first one.
The first one has like an amazing twist, and even the second one has like a really good twist. But
does it?
Yeah, if you watch it and you listen closely, you might get it.
Oh right, but that's a good twist then, isn't it?
Yeah,
if you listen,
but if
you're watching it,
but if you don't, it all explains at the end. You're like, fucking hell, like it's all there under your nose the whole time. And then the rest
didn't like Saw X,
and then the rest just kind of turned into what trap and what fucking torture we can put in and make.
Did he ever do a mouse trap out like that? Do you get the
Man
cheese?
diving into
or do you escape?
But it just becomes so unbelievable. Looking at this old man and all these, how he's had time to make these contractions up and put all this together. And
I don't get the fascination with them, mate. These kind of films where people are just getting mauled.
But there's no peril because.
Andy, explain yourself.
I don't know. I've only seen one.
There's no peril because it's a prequel, so we know that
he doesn't. So we know
he doesn't die. So and we know that he clearly gets away with this, whatever he's doing. But the film is that cardinal sin of trying to give the killer a redemption arc and trying to make him out like.
There it is.
By the end of the film, they try to make him out like the hero because the person he's killing is worse than him.
Nah, fuck that.
Yeah, and I'm just
like, you've got a horror villain, keep him a fucking villain.
Yeah, I'm not in this for that. Like, the whole point of Saw has always been he is doing these things to horrible people and making them pay and have some kind of redemption. Will you save your own life, a pound of your own flesh kind of thing? Will save your own life and for redemption. But this one just really paints him as, like we're on fucking Jigsaw side here. It's like this guy's fucking torturing these people. Like, yeah, they did a shit thing to him, and they're scammers and they're horrible people. But he's literally stood there watching them like fucking disfigure themselves.
Do they still constantly have like big stars in it? Because like the first one had Carrie Elwes and Danny Glover in it.
Oh no!
You know what I mean? Big people.
No, it's full of.
Is it just full of nobodies that are getting chopped
full
up?
of nobodies. Yeah.
It's what's it, Shawnee Smith in this one, isn't it?
I'm surprised you've never seen 2 or 3, Candy.
I know. I actually wouldn't mind. I'll go back and see the first 3, I think, but I just don't like torture.
They all have like a good link up to Saw 6. They actually
the fact that there's 10 of them makes me a bit sick.
They actually have this kind of interesting link, but the films just aren't good.
It's just not my brand of horror. Like, it was the same with Hostel. I don't like torture, but like, I don't think it's scary. I think
it came out when Hostel came out, and everyone's like, "Who wants to see someone getting chopped up?" Not me.
See, Saw 1 was just so simple and has this great twist, which I generally didn't see coming. No one in the cinema when I saw it coming.
It's great.
Intake of breath, and everyone was like, "Fuck!" And even Saw 2, like I said, does that. But now it is literally there is no twist. There is just
touch upon.
What can we do? What can we make people sit through? Like, what can we get away with on screen? I have no idea how this is the ranked the best one. It is not the worst one. It's probably the 4th best one, but it's the 4th best one in a film franchise full of 2-star films, apart from 2
I
of
love
them.
your commitment to watching them all.
I just watched them over the years. The first one came out in 2004, so it's just a process of 20 years nearly, and I'm just like, yeah, okay. Why? I'll watch the next one. I've seen the others.
The same with Halloween.
I just can't do it.
Also, remember what I've said about my wife and horror films.
Yeah, there is that. I bet she's like, the best one. I loved it. Stuart.
No, half the time she says the shit, and I'm like, why you make me watch them then?
She just likes to feel. She wants to feel. If you don't let her watch them, you're going to be in one of them traps, mate.
She needs to watch one of my films. That's what I'm saying.
Get to watch Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah, good luck with that.
She wants to watch that Will shit. Excellent. I got lined up earlier that Biggie's got nothing this week. That's why I let everyone go on a little bit longer. You got nothing, have you, mate?
No, just very quickly, I've been playing Cyberpunk, and I never thought I'd say
Excellent.
it. But I'm
right then,
it.
I'm not putting Cyberpunk in the pod art again.
No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
But I am
great,
enjoying it. It's one of those games at the minute that I'm thinking about wanting to play it when I'm not. It's got its hooks into me, so I'm thoroughly enjoying it.
That's how they get you, mate. That's how the buggers get you. Yeah, I'm glad you're enjoying it. Are you going to get Fanny Libs?
I've got it.
Oh, good man. That's the way. Brilliant. Have our listeners been doing anything?
Just a quick one, actually.
We've got some.
Oh, go on.
Have you played Ragnarok yet?
What was the feedback?
Relinquish that hammer.
Don't worry.
Relinquish that Thor's hammer behind you. Yes.
If I hold my hand out, it'll come to me because I've fucking platinumed it.
You are worthy after all. Yeah, we've had some listener feedback, so I'm going to start with Planty. He said, hello. Don't do that, man. He said, hello, pals. Wasn't that a good news song? A bit pitchy, but I appreciate Biggie made some fucking effort this week.
Ooh.
Oh, wow. All right. Claws.
As of the time of your recording, I've just hit Act 3 and 85 hours of the 40-hour game that is Baldur's Gate 3.
So have I.
Fucking clowns. It had to be clowns. I
hated that.
I've also just spent 20 minutes making Shadowheart climb up and down a ladder so I can hear her grunting and groaning. I'm so fucking single if Rachel ever finds out.
She's my bae.
Is she? Oh, I didn't go for her. I went for Squid. Sorry, spoiler alert.
Speaking of her indoors, Rachel, not Shadowheart, we both, quote-unquote, enjoyed the Colleen Rooney Wagatha Christie thing on Disney+.
The fuck is that? Made me cough that.
It's not 3 hours worth of programming, but there's a good 80-minute documentary in there, and I'm learning about Colleen's family, and I've warmed to her no end.
I've seen Wayne Rooney's wife.
How do you not know about this?
She's done an Agatha Christie film.
No. So the Wagatha Christie thing was she.
How do you not know about this?
Right. She was suspected that one of her
like Murder on the Orient Express.
No. She had her public Instagram, and then she also had like a private Instagram for her and her friends. And stuff that she was posting on her private Instagram kept ending up in the Sun.
What?
So she kind of started limiting who could see the posts until like one of the stories that she put on there got posted in the Sun. And then
so she found out that one of her mates were a graph.
Yeah. And it was Jamie Vardy's wife.
She is Agatha Christie. It was who?
Jamie Vardy. It was Rebecca Vardy.
Chat shit get banged.
So, but it ended up in a fucking court case because Rebecca Vardy said that this is like defamatory, and it went through a whole fucking court process.
I remember that. I just didn't realise. I thought you said Agatha Christie. I'm like,
no,
oh my God, Colleen Rooney's going to act. Wagatha. That's even better.
The wives and girlfriends.
Yeah, I know. Oh, wow.
The best thing about all that
become
was
an actress or something.
So she posted all that thing, and then it was just like, this has been happening. I found out who it is. It's like, it's ... Rebecca Vardy. And then the whole internet was just like, wow, this is amazing. And then in the court case, they were like, we need to see your phone. And Rebecca Vardy was like, I dropped my phone over the edge of a boat. Like something like that. She just conveniently lost that phone. Yeah,
I swallowed my SIM card by accident.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay, I'm more interested now.
Planty goes on to say, also on Disney Plus is Appendage, a film that starts like Basket Case and ends like Body Snatchers without ever reaching the heights of either of those classics. I'm sure it resonated more with people young enough to be my kids.
Yeah,
that sounds like a candy
film.
Remember
Basket Case?
A Basket Case is so good.
Appendage.
He's done a lot, actually. He says Zombieland was a revisit, as it's our current episode voted by the patrons, who pay considerably less than yours for massively worse content.
It's a great film.
It's a good film. Don't watch Zombieland Double Tap.
No, it's terrible.
It's fucking awful. Didn't need to happen. And then he finishes off with Saw X. Shit X, more like it. Plot holes big enough for a little clown to drive a little tricycle through, and a lot of yellow filters to make us think it's filmed in Mexico, not Canada, eh?
Oh, do they do that? That sepia tone.
Yeah.
We must be in Mexico. Look at the dust in the air.
It must be in Mexico. Everything's yellow.
I've been to Mexico. There wasn't yellow anywhere.
No. Funny
It's
that.
beautiful.
Burrito for breakfast? Sure.
I don't
We
get
must be
that.
Actually, I would like a burrito
don't
for
get that
breakfast.
cinematography choice of once
Yeah,
you
no.
go into South America.
South of the border,
It's all
everything's yellow.
Like,
I've been to Mexico. It doesn't look like that.
It's blue. It's gorgeous.
I love that fucking even Sicario did it. Like when
Yeah,
they're
I
in,
did. It
when
did.
they're in Texas,
Yeah.
it's just like a normal color filter, and then
Yeah.
as soon as they go over the border into Mexico,
Hey,
it just goes
look at
fucking
all
yellow.
them army films, Jarhead and American Sniper and stuff. Look how yellow Iraq is. Telling
They
you.
must know by now that this is a trope that everyone takes the piss out of them for. So
It's
stop doing it.
bollocks. Absolute bollocks.
It's worse than the fucking Wilhelm scream.
I was about to
Um,
mention that.
King Hagrid has said, for feedback this week, I played a little game called Unpacking.
It's great.
You basically unpack someone's boxes as they move houses.
Hmm.
There is sort of a wholesome story that you figure out as you unpack different homes. There's some D&D books and dice, and I enjoy trying to guess the games and Blu-ray covers, and the trophies are fun to figure out.
It's a puzzle game where it's reorganizing basically. It follows this lady going through her life and steps in her life, like losing relationships and finding people. But all you're doing is putting stuff in the right place all the way
Yeah.
through it, and it's genuinely really good.
It's
I
like,
loved it. I played it
it's
on
like a
Switch.
Zen game, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've got
But
I've got it on my Steam Deck to play. I just haven't got round to
It's
it. yet.
really good, and the music's great, and everything. I really enjoyed it. It's not very long, but then again, what is nowadays? And it's not a bad thing because it's not very long.
No.
Gamers,
Xenos has said, for this week's feedback, you may remember me mentioning Inkbound in an episode back in the summer.
nope.
You don't remember yesterday, Oodles. Inkbound is a turn-based tactical roguelike from the creators of Monster Train.
I know Monster Train.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's basically their next game. It's in early access on PC at the minute.
cool.
They've just dropped a major update. 2 new classes have been added. The Chainbreaker, best summarized as a punch wizard, who can do everyone's favorite activity of hitting an enemy with another enemy. And the Godkeeper,
Nice.
functionally a spear-wielding paladin, which can smite enemies and is the first bleed specialist on the roster. This is the one that you'll enjoy, Oodles. Also, they've removed the cash shop.
Perfect. 10 out of 10.
The first 2 battle passes have been moved to the Steam store and become supporter packs, which give you all the cosmetics on them immediately, and everything
That's
in game is now unlockable for free. The existing shop
That's
now
how you do it.
uses an in-game currency called Vault Dust, which is obtained by leveling future free battle passes.
That's how you do it, guys.
Yeah.
That is how you do it.
They also did a total overhaul of the equipment system, and every item on the drop list is now part of one or more sets with different bonuses. Some are fairly straightforward. Striker and Enchanted sets boost your physical and magic damage, more for each piece up to 5. And some are a bit more esoteric, like the Mythos set, which gives you a free legendary item for every second battle if you can get 6 pieces of it equipped. And the Shadow set, which causes you to take damage every turn but gives you up to a 500% damage bonus to all your attacks. Fucking hell.
I'm looking at what he's posted here. It looks
like
good.
Yeah, it looks like a really good game.
It does, doesn't it?
He says, genuinely enjoying the hell out of this, and I literally could not recommend the game more right now. Obviously, I'm not being sponsored here, and neither is the podcast, but it's £12.56 until the 3rd of November, and £16.75 once the sale ends, and it's absolutely worth it if you like turn-based strategy and roguelike mechanics.
It will run on my PC as well, my laptop.
Oh, it absolutely will. And the most recent review on Steam that I can see, this person, Katchu, has 141.5 hours on record. They've played it quite a lot. Monetization removed, 10 out of 10.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's got a lot of positive reviews, so it sounds like a really great game. So it's currently very positive on Steam. I'm going to forget this.
Yeah, bang on. I mean, Monster Train's great.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Monster Train's so good. Played that on Game Pass.
I was playing it over a month on Game Pass on my phone.
We're riding on the Monster Train.
We're riding on the train.
Just like a Death Clock song, doesn't it?
It's better than that.
Last up, Angry Curtis said, nothing much new from this week. Any gaming has been dedicated to Spider-Man 2, which I've been enjoying. But as I said last week, I still don't think the side stuff is very good. And the Venom stuff feels like normal Spider-Man's powers, but with different animations. The story is also starting to lose me now. It's a bit compared to the first game.
No.
I finished Order of the Phoenix, both the book and the film. Of the 5 so far, I'd rank it as 4th for the book and the film.
He is wrong.
He's wrong twice. So, again, I spoke to him, and I do apologise, Kirk, because I just went, are you high? But I've not watched all the films, and I still think this is the best film I've seen out of that series, and I don't think it's going to be topped.
No, that's Prisoner of Azkaban you're on about.
Oh, is it?
He's read and watched Order of the Phoenix.
Fucking shite.
Not shite.
It's my lowest one.
You're wrong.
Did not like it. Oh, you're not listening to the podcast, have you not, that you've had access to?
Doesn't Order of the Phoenix suffer from the fact that it's one of the longest books and it's one of the shortest films?
Yeah, but I actually listen to our podcast as we get into this, because I've read the book recently. I'll listen to it, and it doesn't actually suffer that much for it, in my opinion.
Fair enough. He finishes off saying, "I'm now." Oodles, you're probably going to hate this one. I'm now having a break reading a book about the last few seasons of Derby County since we went into administration before I start Half-Blood Prince.
Oh, fucking Derby, man. Fucking jokes.
I've just finished Half-Blood Prince.
That's another one of the really long ones, isn't it?
Not really.
They were, from Order of the Phoenix, they were pretty hefty compared to the first ones.
Yeah, but this one kind of breezed by. Got through it much. Yeah, didn't feel like I was slogging away when I was listening to it.
Well, that's the feedback for this week.
Excellent. As always, links to all our extracurricular activities are in the show notes and at modernescapism.co.uk. If you are not a patron, you won't get access to Kenny Potter and all the other smorgasbord of amazing oral pleasures that we've unleashed these past, is it 3 years we've been doing this shite now?
Yeah, about that.
Yeah, there's loads. There's
You
fucking
fools.
loads.
You fools.
Just released our greatest console ever, Knockout.
Which was stressful.
And
when they put us through that kind of thing, it twists and turns, and in the end,
Betrayal.
the greatest
Candy's put a
8-bit
blood debt
console
out
one.
on Biggie.
Yeah, she
True.
has. She has.
True.
Who knew
Another
we all
one.
loved the Game Gear that much?
We love the Game Gear so much.
You're joking. The Game Gear was fucking fabulous.
No, the Game Gear was
No,
great.
it wasn't.
It was.
900 batteries.
Tamagotchi for life.
Game Gear was great. It just,
I love my Game Gear.
the battery power was just terrible.
If you become a patron, you'll get access to all that beautiful, beautiful stuff. If you're not a patron, it's nearly the end of the show for you. But before that,
Oh no, we've still got the stick on.
oh no! Put your finger out, taxi. It's time to go for a ride down to Candyland. Hey, I'm walking here.
And now, what's up in Candyland?
So, you may have noticed that I was last to join this call this evening. And that's because I lost something. I did that thing where it was in
Your
my
marbles.
hand one moment, and I guess I put it down. It disappeared. It was nowhere to be found. Half an hour spent looking for my phone. Couldn't find it. Found it exactly where I'd looked 100 times. So I was writing this big theory. I was thinking of this big theory about what actually happens to the stuff when it just disappears and then returns. And then I realised that I'd basically written the plot to the borrowers. So,
Oh no!
so you don't really get a Candyland this week, I'm afraid. But it would have been had I thought of it first, I would have put it out as a book. Yeah, it's borrowers.
I mean, I can point out there are some items that just disappear into the void of nothingness.
Well, we know that like a sock every now and again has to be sacrificed to the laundry gods.
I give you
So-
the humble plectrum. When you
Oh,
drop
yeah.
a plectrum, you will never recover it. They disappear.
they go
into the dark realm.
ether. Yeah, they go into another realm.
So do you know in your little plot that you had, did you have John Goodman in it and everything like that, like in the film The Borrowers?
It was the previous iteration of it.
The British
The
borrowers.
English one,
Oh, yeah.
the good one.
Yeah.
See, I literally have gone through this weekend. I cannot find a TV remote because Amelia's
Plinky
lost
plonk.
it. No,
No, the
the
remote.
TV remote.
The Zapper.
Tell you what,
I was
We've
talking
got
about.
a small TV.
He's my governor.
Small TV in our bedroom, and it's just an Amazon Fire Stick one in the back. So it's an Amazon remote.
Yeah,
tiny little thing, innit?
She's had a sleepover for her birthday this weekend. Put the TV in their room, and
no wonder you look stressed.
The back is there, the front isn't.
Oh,
I've cleaned that room. Looked everywhere in that room today. Cannot find it. She was using that TV the day before in that room. She cleaned that room earlier in the day and put the TV on her table. So it's there somewhere.
I've got a bit of advice for you, mate.
I just don't know where it is.
I know where it is. It's in one of the pockets because my kids do it all the fucking time. And that might be in the wash basket now.
I put things in the fridge.
It hasn't been washed, so if it has, it's
in the pocket.
Wash basket.
Trust me.
Oh, I've got to check the pockets.
That's exactly where it is. I promise you, because my kids do it every
If it's in
day.
the pockets,
yeah.
Can we go check now? So I go check now. Why
go check, and then we'll invite you back into the green room.
Back in a sec.
The simple solution that I would say to Stig's clearly critical problem here is that what he needs to do is to get his
discipline.
Is get his daughter, grab her by the ankles, flip her upside down, just shake it to see what comes out.
Yeah.
My daughter.
It's how I deal with you oodles when we meet up.
Yeah, it's true. My daughter's close to Stig's daughter's age, and she's always pocketing stuff. The other week, I was looking.
You've got sticky-fingered children that they're going to walk into shops and walk out with shit.
I was looking for my Buds case, for my Samsung Buds. I'm like, what the fuck are they? And I was like, Scarlett, have you seen these? I've just named my kids on the podcast. That's the first time. Scarlett, have you seen these? And she's like, have you seen Daddy's AirPods? And she's like, oh, yeah, they're in my pocket. I'm like, why? Are you going to cash generators with them? Do you know what I mean? What are you doing with them? She went, I just put them in there. And all the time, these clothes pegs, these fucking micro machine cars in there. There's all sorts in her pockets. They're terrible for it.
We were at a mate's house, and at the end of the evening, we're talking 3-4 o'clock in the morning. We were playing table tennis. He's got a little pack-up table tennis thing. And we were playing that to ridiculous hours in the morning. And then the next day, we're all hungover, and we spent probably about an hour looking for one particular ping pong ball that was missing from the set. And we looked everywhere in this house, couldn't find it. And then about 2 hours later, randomly, a friend of ours just posted a picture that he'd pocketed it and took it home that night.
I'm telling you.
We looked for ages, but then he sent the picture without us knowing that we were looking for it. So it was so random that he sent the picture. It was like, look, I've got this. Like,
I think it's an ultimately British thing to put things in his pockets.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We pocket things. We pocket them.
Also, Biggie, I forgot. I need to apologise to you because I misnamed your daughter last week. I called her Hope,
I did correct
not
you.
Faith. You did, but I didn't catch it because I was half cut and I was in the middle of it talking.
Hope and Faith, that's a show.
Well, that's the thing. I use Hope
he doesn't
and
look like
Faith
he's found
interchangeably.
It. He doesn't look like he's found it. It looks sad. No,
Faith.
no, Joy?
No.
Imagine if it was, though. You'd be like, you are the king.
I genuinely thought that it might be in her hoodie.
Trust me,
That's
it
the
will
one
turn
thing
up.
I hadn't checked
Kids
in.
pocket stuff.
But a hoodie.
She might have put it in a pocket and it'll be in a bedroom. A completely different room.
Could it be in the friend's pocket?
It could be. It absolutely could be.
Go
Kids
find the friend,
horrendous.
grab her ankles, shake her upside down.
Kids are thieves. Kids are thieves. They're kleptos. They're
they're
disgusting
horrible little
creatures,
fuckers.
and they need to be stopped.
I was really
Thank
hoping
you.
to come down and be like, I've got it. No, not
Thank you for that really, really, really low caliber Candyland there, Candy.
You're
But
quite welcome.
Can't blame you. We've got to blame the borrowers, haven't we?
Well, this is it.
Thank you for
They stole her
listening.
idea.
If you aren't a patron, this is it. It's time. Bye.
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 Good luck, fuckers.